Hello. Hi. Ooh. There's too many of you. Hello. Hello,
Mother.
friends.
Mother, I crave violence.
Hello. Hi. Shut up, soul. Hello. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the library. I'm your friendly neighborhood librarian, Miss Kitty Mama. Hello. Hi.
Almost a year, let's go.
Let's go. Thank you so much, Dr. Perez. I have done my best to get things set up for... Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, it's working! Yatta! Yippee! What about Twitch? Twitch is working over here. I got Twitch on one side. I got YouTube on the other. I got notifications set up separately for everybody. I do have some more things set up that work for Twitch and not YouTube. As far as I know, there's some things that just don't connect the same way, but I'm gonna try to figure more things out for YouTube, I promise. And yeah, we're figuring this out together. Yay! I swear, I have to tell you guys, trying to figure out like how to make things like work properly for a dual stream and like figure things out on the YouTube side made me feel like such a boomer. I have never felt like I have not felt this old in a really long time. But yes, welcome on into the library. The library doors are open today. I decided that, for my very first live stream, dual stream, all of that, I wanted to do an AMA. I do have a marshmallow set up. I should actually probably, I have the message for it pinned in the YouTube chat. That's one of the things I forgot. I was gonna pin that. Thank you, honey, for this. Hey, 69 months. Let's go, baby. He asked how many on YouTube. You can look. Oh my gosh.
Kitim 22 cheer, Kitim 22 cheer, Kitim 22 cheer, 16 Ians in the library. Kitim 22 smug, Kitim 22 smug, Kitim 22 smug.
That is so long. All right, I've pinned the message now in both chats. I'm going to be reading the chats themselves a little less today. The stream will be saved to watch later. I will be saving this stream. That's part of why I'm doing the dual stream. I also meant to hit the record button, and I didn't do that. What if I hit start recording now? What if I hit start recording now? But whoa! Are you okay, friend? Okay. Just super chats are not free. Sorry, I saw the I don't know what that was. Panique. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the super chats, you guys. I gotta go through super chats at the end.
Father help.
I'm stressed. I'm sweating. YouTube chat will learn. I don't like cry a lot when I get nervous. I do sweat a lot. I sweat a lot. Yes, that is a boo alert. So I have sound alerts set up on Twitch I am shitting and farting, Amara. Yes, thank you. And so I'm like, you'll hear a lot of things. Pardon me. You'll hear a lot of things that are happening. I need to move that. Where are you? There we go. Let's put you down here. Let's put you down here. That's a better spot. I didn't want that covering up YouTube chat. Yeah, I'm sweating, I'm shitting, I'm farting. I literally had to like right before I was like, okay, I think it could go live now. Wait, I forgot to go to the bathroom. I'm too nervous. I need to go to the bathroom right now. Is your hair like that in real life? Yes. Yes, it is. And my hair is actually curlier. So fun fact, this is something that we can get out of the way a little bit. There are pictures of my face posted on my Twitter. The lore of me, the librarian, is that I am me. I am simply myself. And basically, I found a magical portal in the library that leads to this library, where I get to be in this amazing space where magic is possible and I have access to all the stories. And so I exist both in the 3D world and the 2D world. So that's like part of the lore is that I exist. Oh, stop whining about your immersion, Twitch. I literally walk around TwitchCon all the time. I walk around TwitchCon and I'm going to Offkai. I'm actually, fun fact, I am hosting a panel at Offkai this year. It's very exciting. Thank you so much for becoming a page, Lisa and Nahuel, I think, maybe? I'm so sorry if I get your names wrong. But yeah, so, yeah, what's that? Bless, exactly. So I am around, generally, I was a flesh tuber long before I became a VTuber. And so, like, I'm not interested in, like, undoing the past, only building onto it. This is just another form that I manifest in. The subscriber, welcome on in, welcome on in. I'm happy to have you here. One of the things you'll also see, the color of my dress will change with some frequency. Twitch has a redeem where they can change the color of my dress, and they like to play with that a lot. So, yeah. Anyways, how am I doing today? I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. I am trying to get to the stuff that I have planned, but I don't know, I'm happy to be here, and I'm just nervous and saying hi to everybody. Want to give everybody a chance to get to, like... Stop bonking me! Okay, so I have the marshmallow for the AMA, for the Ask Me Anything in... do the roar? Okay, warning everybody, I'm going... When you hear do the roar... That means that someone has, over on Twitch, has redeemed that I do an ada ada. So, be warned, an ada ada is incoming. I'm gonna... Ada ada. Okay, that was embarrassing. Stop throwing things at me.
You're not my dad! You also hear something! Ugly ass fucking noodle!
Anyways. So. What the? I'm sorry. There's no one outside of Argentina who can pronounce your name correctly. Don't worry. Beautiful. All right. So, without any further ado, I'm just gonna let y'all know I have some of the marshmallows that I might need to disable redeems. I might need to pause everything. How do I submit all of your questions via the marshmallow? I have a bunch that I've already downloaded and put in order. But once we go through those, if I still have energy, we will go through
Mother, I crave violence.
Violence? We don't need violence. Yeah, we can pause. You know what I'm gonna do real quick? Actually, can I just
Run.
is there a... Can I just pause? Pause.
A few moments later.
All right, that's enough slices. I'm pausing all the redeems. You have done this. Twitch chat.
Father, help!
Father cannot help you. He does not even acknowledge you. All right. I'm pausing everything. I see my mods are helping me. Thank you. Bless you. All right. All right. Okay. We're good. All right. And then I think I just gotta real quick. I'm gonna go over to like the sound alerts page and just be like, shut up. Actually, you know what I can do? Because they don't cost anything when they're not in the channel points thing. I can just go over here. I can go over to this. And I can say, don't show it. I can say, don't show it in OBS. All right, they're off. Okay. How long do I estimate stream to last? Great question. So here's the thing. I have ADHD, and one of the things that I'm really bad about is knowing how time passes. I don't know how long things take. I am not good at guessing. I imagine this will go on for a while. So, given that time blindness is one of my weaknesses, I try not to guess. Nines can guess. He's very good at guessing. Until all questions are asked and answered? Probably. That sounds about right. So, yes, I will go over super chats at the end, and I will, yes. Oh, also for Twitch chat. So YouTube doesn't know about this. I am currently doing a subathon over on Twitch, where we are raising money for various things. It's part of the VTubing anniversary, and also for, you know, the child on the way. But just so Twitch chat knows, the timer is paused right now. Any money, because listen, the timer is paused. The timer is not going. Any funds that get added to it will still affect the timer. The timer will still go up, but the timer is not going down right now. So that actually works out in your favor. Here, see, as you can see, number going up. Number is going up, but not going down. This is the full little thing. So, I needed more space, Amara. All right, so, yes, like I said, any questions that you have, put them into the marshmallows, because chat is gonna be really hard for me to, like, watch both chats, and so I'm going to basically go through the questions that we already have. And actually, there's only one redeem I'm gonna allow, now that I'm thinking about it. We're going to allow the Pet Mallory redeem. That's the only one you guys get. Y'all can pet Mallory. All right. So I'm going to start with the questions that I already have downloaded. Why is streamer mode not enabled on Discord? Shut up. There we go. Okay, so without any further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the questions. Marshmallow. Oh. Here it is. Aha. All right. So I downloaded like the first 30 questions. And so we're just gonna go from there. And then once we're done with all the ones I have downloaded, I'll just read them from the website. Oop. So the first question, what made me want to start streaming? Well, that's actually a really funny story. So I made a Twitch account back in 2013 because there was a game that I was interested in playing. It was called WildStar. This game does not exist anymore, sadly. But I made a Twitch account because I heard that there were streamers who were giving, had like beta keys to give away. And so as a result, I made a Twitch account so that I could try to get into the beta. I did get into the beta. And then a friend of mine, I was submitting bugs actually for the beta. And basically I was trying to like submit all these bug reports for glitches and things that I found. And one of my friends was just like, girl, you get into the craziest things. I don't know how you break the game in the ways that you do, but it's wild. It's insane. So, I started streaming so that I could create clips and explain how I made these bugs happen to the developers, and then I could submit the links from the clips to the bug report. And basically people showed up while I was trying to do this. And I tried to tell people, I was like, oh, you guys, you don't have to watch me do that. I'm here for like 15 minutes. I'm just recording some stuff so that I can submit this and then we go. And they were like, keep going. And I was like, okay. And that's basically how my streaming started, was with playing WildStar, playing in that beta, and submitting bug reports. And it just kind of went on from there. For most of the time, I didn't have any kind of regular schedule. I didn't have any sort of like thing that I played regularly aside from WildStar. I stopped streaming WildStar when like the beta ended pretty much. I was literally recording scuff. Yeah, that's literally what I was doing. And then I mostly started streaming a lot when I moved, a few years later when I moved out of my parents' house. And that was a lot of, mostly Stardew. Yeah, I don't know. It's just sort of evolved from there. I've been on Twitch since 2013. I have been streaming on and off since I joined, which makes it a very unique experience for me. I've been around essentially streaming for a very long time. And I've been around as like a moderator, as Discord admin for streamers. I've been streaming myself. It's been like a very well-rounded experience that I didn't really start taking seriously as something that I wanted to do until like probably, I don't know, like 2017, 2018 was when I really started to like get into like thinking of streaming and being around streamers and stuff as something that I wanted to like do. So yeah. Next. What inspired me to become a VTuber? Mental health. Honestly, I feel like I feel like that's a really weird thing to say as a VTuber when so many VTubers have like mental health problems. Or just a lot of VTubers, I would say, probably struggle with their mental health. And so for me, I hit a certain point during the pandemic where life was just kind of rough, and things being rough reflected in how I was like feeling as a streamer, and how I was feeling while I was streaming like made all of the numbers tank, which like you shouldn't care about the numbers, right? No one cares about the numbers except when they do. And I started to do that really unhealthy thing where you like conflate your self-worth with the numbers you see on social media. And I knew that I was heading into a really like unhealthy mental space. And so I decided that like at that time that it was going to be so much conflate. Please define. Conflate is like where it's like when you incorrectly like equate the two. So like it's where you think like my numbers are low and so my value as a person is low. When you combine stuff that don't necessarily need to go together. I think usually when you conflate, it's like you incorrectly combine things together. And so a lot of my friends were getting into VTubing, especially my art mama Mufi. And I decided that after taking some time to reflect, that I needed to do something that was going to separate my own like image of myself and my self-worth from the things that I wanted to do as a content creator and as a streamer. And so I basically figured out that if I were a VTuber and I created, this person who I wanted to be, this, alternate representation of myself, that I would be able to separate myself more from the content that I was making, and it would affect my like self-esteem less. And it really worked. It really did. It's been fantastic. And I also am someone who just really loves like I really love, coming up with stories and reading and playing in fantasy worlds and all this stuff. So the VTubing space has just been so warm, so kind, so open, so welcoming. Just it's been such a good place for me and my mental, and I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, that's how I decided to become a VTuber. Next. What year did I start VTubing? 2022. I started the process of becoming a VTuber and all of that in 2021, and I debuted in on Mother's Day in May of 2022 due to that's just when it was ready. And I knew that I wanted to debut on Mother's Day because it's in the name, Ms. Kitty Mama. So yeah, 2022. It was also, I debuted the same year as Offkai, and it was a very interesting time. So I went to Offkai like the weekend before I debuted. And so I've been going to Offkai since Gen 1, which also really ties in like just a lot with my experience with VTubing as well, which I think is just, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. All right. Do I still see myself streaming in 5 years? Probably. I mean, like, I try not to like say that, you know, I know where the future will take me, but I would still like to be streaming in 5 years. Will my streaming look the same in 5 years? I don't know. Probably not. I'll probably be doing all different kinds of things in 5 years from now. I mean, with how far I've come in terms of what I like to do with streaming in the last over a decade that I've been live streaming, I would say like how I like to do things has changed. My aesthetics have changed. My hobbies have changed. And so in 5 years from now, I hope I'll still be streaming, but it might look a little different than it does now. Let's see. Next. Have I ever thought of having more outfits for my model? If this has already happened, what do you have? You're new, so you wouldn't know for certain. Well, let me tell you. Yes and no. I have thought about having more outfits. I almost have more outfits. I have 2 new outfits that have been designed. And I have one that I have shared that is currently being worked on by my art mama. And then I will be getting it rigged after that. And I can share that one with you. Hold on. Nope, not that. Nope. I can do this. Okay, here we go. I present to you Farming Mama. This was designed by my beautiful friend Hoshi, who was the Latina that you saw at the beginning of the pregnancy announcement video. Farming Mama was something that we got funded last year during the last subathon, Mamathon. So this is Farming Mama. There are some excellent details here. I'm very excited to get her. We unlocked all of the hairstyles and the little redeems for the different toggles and all of that. So this is something. I also got the mining helmet so that I can use it for Minecraft and stuff like that. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. We love her. So this was designed in, what year is it? 2025? This was designed in early 2024. For playing games like Stardew and Fae Farm and Coral Island and Minecraft. All of my little farming sim games that are just nom, 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 my bread and butter that I love so much. Oh yes, from librarian to farmer. Those have a lot in common. All right. Listen, here's the thing. Here's the lore, right? So if you've watched my lore video, right, you know that the outfit that I wear is actually a very magical outfit. It is the regalia, the uniform of the librarian. And so when I enter different stories that are kept here in the library, Ideally, as my powers grow, my outfits will change so that I can better fit into the worlds that I am joining. So I've been spending a lot of time in farming stories, and so I am working towards being able to better transform into the little farming girl who goes into those worlds. So, yeah, that's kind of the idea. Yeah, we go into a farming world. Yeah. So that's the mindset, the lore behind. Listen, one thing you'll find out about me is, especially so I play a lot of D&D, right? I can come up with a story reason for everything, and I do come up with story reasons for everything. So, yeah, if there's anything that I do as a character, if there's anything that I do for the visuals that y'all see here, I have a lore reason for it. But yeah, so yes, I have that outfit. I have a second one that is being worked on right now. And I also have a second outfit that has not been shared, that I'm holding on to in my back pocket, but it's beautiful, also designed by Hoshi. We love Hoshi here. She just had her birthday. Very exciting. We love her. All my friends. So Hoshi is an artist who I discovered on DeviantArt when I was looking for artists to work on assets for my debut. And I found her in the depths of DeviantArt, saw her frame by frame animation and went, "You, come here." Come here. And we've been besties ever since. And she was she tells the story better, but she was in a very different place. She wasn't really posting on Twitter. And I was like, all I said was, "Hey, consider posting your work on Twitter." And now she has done work for members of VShojo, for all kinds of indie VTubers. Most of the things, so many of the things on my stream are because of her. And I've introduced her work to all of my friends, and we all say, "Don't think just Hoshi." Don't think just Hoshi. Because 90% of the time, I just go, "Hey Hoshi, I don't know how this would work, but this is something that I was thinking of. What do you think?" And she goes, "I don't know how to do that, but we're gonna figure it out." And I go, "Okay." Just let me know how much to pay you. Thank you. She's incredible. I love her so much. Let's see. Next, have I thought about updating my model with a pregnant belly for the duration of the pregnancy? This was one of the things that I asked Hoshi about. Hoshi had a outfit go viral on Twitter, an outfit asset. You guys might have seen it among some of your favorite VTubers. There was I think it was first her Christmas outfit where she made a really cute Christmas dress that you could just put your VTuber head on, like a paper doll outfit, and use it to take pictures and stream that way and stuff. And it went pretty viral in the VTubing community. And so I was asking her what would you think about making something like that, but a pregnant lady model for me? And she was like, "That's too expensive. You don't want to do that." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense." So I thought about it. It's too expensive to do. By the time I could afford it, Nugget will be here. So, and I'd rather spend the money on saving things up for Nugget instead. I think that makes more sense. Next, what made me decide to start streaming? We kind of answered that already. Also, what maybe made you decide to tell your VTuber friends that you're pregnant live on stream? Have a lovely day. I actually did not do it live. I told chat live, obviously. But I told my streamer friends, like 3 months before I told Twitch chat. And I called them all up individually. I told everybody, I created a ruse. Because I wanted to record everyone and I wanted everyone to know that they were going to be recorded. And so I basically told them, hey, I really want to record something. Can we get both of our models on screen for this? I want to make a little, like a little advertisement, a little friendship appreciation video montage for my subathon that I'm going to be doing for my VTubing anniversary. I just want to like take some time to appreciate all my friends. And they were like, great, yeah, let's put it on the calendar. And so then I, called them up, got everything set up, and they're like, so what exactly are we doing for this? And I was like, it was all a lie, I'm pregnant. And we got some amazing reactions. So yeah, that is pretty much how I decided to do that. And then I had my wonderful moderator. I know the best words. My wonderful moderator, Soul Azurite, put together the video montage that went viral. And yeah, and that was basically how I decided that I wanted to tell chat. I basically told chat by organizing this whole subathon and saying it's for my VTubing anniversary on Mother's Day. Let's do it. And I got that going. It was very exciting. I made a whole PowerPoint presentation about like achievements and thanking everybody and doing all these things. And then I surprised them with the video and with the news about the pregnancy. And we went over like the whole timeline of the pregnancy, which was a lot of information. People were like, Kitty, please, we don't need to know this information. I swear by the time you're done telling us all this stuff, we're gonna know the position that Nugget was conceived in. Please stop. And I was like, no, this is educational. But yeah, so I decided to tell that I wanted to record telling my friends. So that way they would know before everybody else. And then I used that footage to tell Twitch chat. Let's see. Next. Which friend gave me my favorite reaction when I announced the pregnancy? Oh man. It's so hard to pick a favorite, if I'm honest. I loved all of them, obviously. God, I think probably standout moments, my friend Champ Domain, when he just hung up. When he just straight up hung up the call and came back. It was like, are you fucking serious? Yeah. That was a great one. Also when Spoone asked, am I the father? Classic. Classic. That was so beautifully Spoone. Spoon, I feel like Spoon still thought for like a minute that it was a bit. Which was hilarious. Yeah, Hollow was crazy, went quiet. That, I knew that would happen, which was why I made sure to tell Hollow and Champ together. They're both my sons, my adopted internet sons. And so I knew it would be best to tell them that they were getting a sibling, you know, in that time. US assuming white. Yes. I am from the US and I am white. But I also know that you're talking to Shiro. Shiro? Whose name means white. Yeah. Just yes. Anyways, next. I think those were my favorites. Also, everyone. Oh my gosh! Wait, no, and everyone who screamed so loud that Discord, they just peaked and Discord completely cut out. That was great. Everyone who cried, that was also fantastic. Fen with her, oh my God, you're pregnant. Like, yeah. That moment was also fantastic. Yeah. Let's see. Next. How did it feel going viral through a pregnancy announcement? Weird. Just like the rest of pregnancy, it felt weird. I was like, wait, but they don't even know who I am. And I felt like everyone over on YouTube was like, we don't know who you are. And I'm sitting over here like looking at all the comments like, I know, this makes no sense. So I was just like, it felt like shit, I have to like do things now. Like, I was like, oh my God. Wait! Especially, there were so many questions that like people were just like, we need answers. And I was like, I would love to give them to you. I would love to give them to you. Like, so then, that would be, that was like my first priority was like, okay, I need to tell YouTube who I am so that they're not like lost, confused, like wandering the streets of YouTube, just like, how did I get here? So yeah, it definitely felt very weird, very surreal, and very like, well, like, it felt like a lot of pressure. Like, oh man, I gotta like make YouTube content now. It was not a bit. It was not a bit, Greg. I am very pregnant. I'll be this weekend. I will be 26 weeks pregnant. So I also, oh, that was the other thing. Part of the reason why I was telling chat, and I explained this a little bit earlier, I will be going to Offkai, and so I'll be walking around Offkai Expo, and I didn't want people to find out that I was pregnant from seeing me walking around Offkai, and like, that was how they found out. So I knew I needed to like tell people before then, and so I just decided to like make a thing of it. So yeah, that's ultimate. That was part of the decision. Like, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to hide having a baby. Where do you go to see proof? What kind of proof? What do you want? Like, here's the thing. Okay, I saw something like that in the YouTube comments where people were like, where's the proof? Like, what do you want? The video of the conception? Do you want like pictures of the pregnancy test that I sent to my best friend on New Year's Day going, I didn't expect this yet. I thought this was gonna take longer. Do you want to see the responses from my doctor? Like, I like it. Like the proof. Like, literally, go to Offkai. Like, literally, sorry, I get a little out of pocket sometimes. I apologize. No, but like, there's no amount of proof that I can provide that won't be like, I don't know, sounds made up, or like isn't. Well, you could have just found that you could have found that picture on Google. Who's to say that you didn't Photoshop that? Who's to say that you didn't like AI image generate that? So I'm not interested in engaging with like the give us proof. So like it's okay. I'm just not, I'm not interested. Like either you believe me or you don't. Well, it's no skin off my back, you know? But yeah. You just like having proof. Well, I mean, welcome to VTubers. It's not exactly a world of proof. You'll see, I guess, when I have a kid, unless something horrific happens. Anyways, next. Also, yes, the nugget is very healthy. I just went to the doctor today and, you know, started talking about birth plans and going to Lamaze classes. So, yeah, like it's all going very well. Got to hear his heartbeat today. That's always nice. But yeah. All right, next. Who's the dad? That would be my loving, gorgeous, amazing, handsome husband. Lord of the Nines, aka Nines. This person clearly didn't watch the Hello YouTube video. I have a really cute husband. I like him a lot. He's really cool. We met in, we've known each other for a really long time. We've been married for, it'll be 8 years this July. So that's pretty cool. What are Lamaze classes? Lamaze classes are like, if you've ever seen it in like a movie, like where there's a bunch of pregnant ladies in a class, like leaning up against their husband going, he, hoo, and like doing that like weird pregnancy breathing stuff. That's a Lamaze class. But yeah, who's the dad? Nines. My husband, Nines. He's pretty cool. You guys will like him. I should get him to come up here and say hi to you guys. Let's see. Apologize if this is too personal, but how exactly did you and your husband get together? Like when you first met to when you started dating? So this is a long story. But basically we met in middle school. I transferred to the middle school where Nines was already at in the 7th grade when I was 12 years old. And that year, Nines had a crush on one of my friends. She was like a frenemy. We'll call her Becca. And I was like, at first, Nines was just like that weird guy who had bad taste and had a crush on Becca. And then I was like, that's weird taste. Then the next year in 8th grade, when we were like 13, 14, we had history and study hall together back to back. And I developed a massive crush on him. I was like, this handsome green-eyed guy is my type. Listen, he's a Pisces, I'm a Scorpio. Our match is written in the stars. I will marry this man one day. But he didn't have a crush on Becca anymore, but he had a crush on somebody else. And that I respected. We were very good friends. And so I respected that he already had feelings for somebody else. And so I never told him. Even though I was so desperately in love. Literally our entire 8th grade class knew about my feelings for Nines. Except Nines. Nines was the only one who didn't know. Like, it was so bad that, like, you remember Becca? She literally would, like, walk by the two of us in the... This is a real story that happened. She walked by the two of us in the hall one day and literally, like, shoulder-checked Nines into me. Like, so that, like, I was leaning up against a wall in the hallway and she like shoulder checked him into me so that he basically cabedoned me in the hallway from Becca shoving him in, trying to be my wing woman. And I was just like, yeah. We also slow danced at the last dance of the school year because Becca told him to ask me to dance. And he still didn't know. He still didn't know that I had a crush on him the whole time. Listen, Becca and I were frenemies, right? So she was kind of a bully, and she was kind of my bully, but also she was like, no one's allowed to bully this girl except me. So like, it was really interesting. We had a very interesting relationship, me and Becca. But yeah, so then we graduated from the middle school that we went to, and we went to different high schools. We hung out, like, we only ran into each other a couple of times during high school. One of those times, we both went to the same pool party hosted by somebody from our middle school, and we both went back to show that, like, we had glow ups, right? So like Nines went because like he like grew a foot and like lost a bunch of weight and like was, you know, Mr. Sports Guy now with like the abs and everything. And like, I remember one of the girls who I knew at that party came up to me and was like, oh man, who knew that Nines would get so hot? And I was like, me, I did. Remember when you all made fun of me for having a crush on like weirdo Nines? And I was like, nah, I see the bone structure. And she just went, oh yeah, no, good. You're so right. Good call. And like, I'd gotten my braces off. I learned how to do my hair a little bit. And like, I had a boyfriend. So I was just like, look, I'm normal, you guys. I'm normal. And then after that, the next time that we saw each other was actually at the SATs, which is crazy. For those who aren't in the United States, the SAT is like standardized testing for that, like that helps you get it, that like your score is used to determine whether or not colleges will accept you. So you usually take it towards the end of your junior year, I think. Yes, end of junior year. And so I was sitting in like the room waiting for the test to start, and people were still like filing in at the time. And sophomore, at the time it was definitely junior year. Sophomore year was the PSAT, like the pre-SAT. Junior year was the SAT, and then like senior year you applied to colleges. So I'm sitting there in the SAT exam room, and I see this like really bright orange shirt walk into the room. And I'm like, wow, that's a loud orange shirt. Oh my God, that is a Nines in a bright orange shirt. Oh my gosh. And so then like, I immediately like fluff up my hair, fix my posture. Like I'm like preening. I'm like making myself look all cute and then like, but pretending like I don't see him and just be like, oh my God, Nines, is that you? Oh my God. That's crazy. Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, you go to this school? That's crazy. Because I was taking the SAT at like a school that was close by, but wasn't at my school. Regardless. And so then he sat directly behind me. I don't know how I scored as well on the SAT as I did. I don't know how I scored so well on the SAT because the whole time I'm sitting there going, I need to make sure that I like move my hair so that he can see the really cool graffiti phoenix on the back of my shirt. Wild times. So then, we didn't see each other for years. And then, I was having like a really weird day in college. And, I was like, I need to talk to someone about the really weird day that I'm having. And I saw that Nines was online on Facebook. And I was like, fuck it. Yeah. Hi. And I reached out and said hi. We were both in relationships at the time. And so I wasn't trying to flirt, right? I wasn't trying to flirt at all. I was just like, hey, it's been so long. Like, how are you doing? And he was like, this is great. And so then we decided that when he was back in town, we would get coffee during like the Christmas break. And so we did that. And basically we met up for coffee and we had a really great time. And then we like finished our coffee and our food and the cafe wanted to like close. So we had to leave. And then we were like, well, we're still not done talking. We still have more to talk about. So we went out to dinner and then we still weren't done talking after dinner. And so then we went and hung out at a park and we hung out at the park until literally the sun went down and the cops came by and were like, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And so I finally took Nines back to his house, said hi to his parents, dropped him off and left. And it wasn't a date, but it was definitely kind of a moment where we both knew that we were in like not great relationships. And before Nines like graduated from college, we both ended up breaking up with our respective significant others, and we got together. And then we started dating after he graduated, and then he went to grad school across the country, and we were long distance for 4 years. And then he was like, sweetie, I love you. I'm starting my 5th year of grad school. And I was like, ugh, fine. And so then I moved across the country, out of my parents' house finally. And we moved in together and we got married in 2017, 2 years after moving in together. And then he graduated from grad school eventually. And, you know, here we are doing all this. And yeah, so that's like the full, and now I'm pregnant and having his baby. So yeah, we've had a very long story together, but like, yeah. Childhood friends that fell in love and got married is the short version. Yeah. Surprisingly deep lore, thanks for the roundup. Yeah, anytime. Listen, I love telling that story because it feels like there are so many things that coulda, woulda, shoulda meant that we like didn't make it, from the fact that, you know, we were long distance to like so many other things that happened, but like we made it work. We made it work and it was good. What is it like to be streaming while also being married? Does it get in the way of household planning and or privacy? It does not. Although we do have to regularly have discussions about like boundaries, privacy. Do we want to like talk about things online or not? Where we draw the line with different things, especially because I tend to overshare. So there have certainly been times when Nines has been like, hey, so you were talking about this, and like, that's fine, but like, make sure I don't feel super comfy with talking about this. And so like, that's always an ongoing conversation that we have. But otherwise, generally speaking, we tend to, you know, always have an open dialogue going on about our boundaries, what we like to keep private. And as far as household planning, we both keep a Monday through Friday schedule. So I only stream Monday through Friday. He only works Monday through Friday, and weekends we have for spending time with each other. And so, you know, that's when we try to get any like household chores done together. That's when we try to go on our dates together. So I wouldn't say it gets in the way. It just depends on how you structure your day. And yeah, and just keeping a really open, honest dialogue where everyone stays comfy. So no, it doesn't get in the way. And he's very supportive of my streaming, which also is just wonderful. Okay, this one I'm gonna have to pull it up a little bit. Hold on. Hello, Kitty Mother. Hello. Are you going to be a strict parent or an easygoing parent? It was a surprise that a random VTuber suddenly appears on your feed. Immediately subscribe because I'm cool. Thank you. Wish me and my family good luck. Thank you. So am I going to be a strict parent or an easygoing parent? Yes. So there are definitely certain things that I'm going to be very easygoing about, and there are certain things that I'm going to be very strict about. Anything that involves, you know, safety, anything that involves, like, you know, being a bad person, I'm going to be very strict about. Are there going to be things that I'm easygoing about? Yeah, like, it's all going to depend on like the severity. What I was saying this to my Twitch chat the other day, right? And I think I said it in the Discord again since, but my personal like mentality around parenting is as follows. Having a child, choosing to have a child is pretty much the most selfish decision that you can make. To bring someone into this world knowing all of the bad things that are going on, it's a very selfish decision. That being said, and it is a selfish decision that you will be making up for the rest of your life by trying to be the most selfish version of yourself for the kid that you have brought into this world, while also like not letting them turn into an asshole. And so I feel that when it comes to parenting, it's very important to instill certain sets of morals, certain sets of values, but also to always let your child become the person that they're going to be. I think it's so important to never try to force a kid to be the person that you want them to be the person that you envision them of growing into. They're always going to eventually become exactly who they're meant to be. And you can either get with the program or you can fight that. And I never want to be the type of person who tries to fight against who my kid is going to be. So when it comes to things like, their hobbies, what they're interested in, all of that, I'm going to be very easygoing, very supportive, as much as I'm able to just be like, yeah, sure, we can get into that. Let's go. If, when it comes to other things where it's like, don't do that, you're going to get hurt. Yeah, I'm going to be a lot more strict. So yeah, I guess that's kind of the long and the short of it. I'm going to try to balance being strict and easygoing as appropriate. Next. What nugget firsts are me and Nines looking forward to the most? Oh man. First smile, I think, is going to be a really big one. I think first smile is going to be huge. Holding him for the first time. Yes, teach them how to be, not what to be. Thank you. That is a wonderful way to put it. But yeah, smiling for the first time, holding him for the first time, laughing for the first time, finding out what his first words are going to be. I think all of that, every first, I think is going to be just, I can't even imagine. The one thing that I have been imagining, I briefly saw a question about this, scrolling by, the orange cat is my cat Mallory, who passed away. Just a month ago. And this is something that I went over in my Mamathon Mother's Day video that I would like to upload to YouTube, but I downloaded the VOD from Twitch and the audio just sucks and the quality's not as high as when I record because my internet is bad, and so I can't stream at the same quality that I record at. But I'm gonna try not to get emotional. I'm gonna cry. And I'm just gonna accept it now. Mallory, oh, I'm already crying. Cool. So Mallory, was a very snuggly cat, especially later in her life. And, she always, loved to curl up on my chest. And, it's definitely been very hard, not having that comfort, of her curled up on my chest and, snuggling me in the evenings, that was just like part of our quality time together. And it was one of the things that, I was not worrying about with having a kid, but one of the things that I was thinking about was like, oh man, I need, skin to skin time. I need to hold, my baby, but also like, this is my cat spot. So like, how am I going to juggle both of them being on my chest at the same time? And, obviously I don't have to juggle that anymore. But I know that when I do hold him on my chest for the first time and I feel, the weight of his little body, I'm going to think of her as well and be very emotional. So, yeah, a lot of the pregnancy milestones unfortunately coincided with Mallory being very sick, and her departure. So, there's a lot of that's like really like commingled, I guess. Especially because, and this is the most fucked up one. Excuse my language, but this is the most messed up part. literally the day that we had the anatomy scan and like saw, you know, that our Nugget had all his fingers and toes, that he grew all his organs, you know, and that he was doing okay. That same morning was the same day that we ended up having to take Mallory into the vet for the last time to cross the Rainbow Bridge. And so it was a really messed up emotional roller coaster of a day. And so, it's just hard. Yeah. So, I think for me, the most emotional day is probably going to be the day of the birth and just holding him for the first time and having him on my chest. I'm just going to sob. I'm going to sob so much. I'm going to be absolutely devastated in the best way. It's just going to be an emotional roller coaster. And yes, Mallory will always be watching over me. And I know that she's here. I can feel her. Ooh, just crying. I need tissues. I should have planned ahead. But one of the very cute things that I've done is I have what's it called? I have Mallory in a special urn. I kept her cat tree, and I put her urn on the cat tree, and so that's like right next to my desk. Here, hold on, I'll show you. This is her little urn with her little collar, and that lives on her cat tree, which is right next to my desk. Yeah. Nines, can you bring me a tissue, please? Because I'm very snotty. But yeah. The baby will not be, could never replace Mallory. They're, you know, very different family members. But yeah, I'm looking forward to so many firsts. But yeah, especially for me, I think holding Nugget for the first time is gonna be one of those things. What games and songs are Nines and I excited to play with Nugget in the future? This is gonna be a really fun one. We are really looking forward to starting Nugget on really old analog games. I'm really excited for him to play also a lot of the educational games that I played as a kid. Oh, thank you, honey. Did you want to say what you're looking forward to most? Like which first you're looking forward to? Here, come down and talk directly into the microphone so they can hear you.
Right now, just being born.
Being here. Being able to see him outside of ultrasounds.
I'm gonna be excited for basically everything.
Yeah, I agree.
My voice is gonna get sore from cheering. It's born, let's go! He made a sound, let's go! He shit his diaper, let's go!
Sorry, chat. That was gross. I should have muted that. I didn't think about it.
That's called fan service.
I do not blow my nose elegantly. I do it effectively. All right. What games and songs are you excited to play and to teach Nugget in the future?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. This is a question for both of us.
In the future? Like all the ones we like?
Yeah, but like what about like as also like first songs or like nursery rhymes and things like that?
I think in terms of songs, I have a clearer idea. The like Final Fantasy Mind Poison is gonna begin immediately.
Immediately, sure, yeah.
the main theme, the Chocobo songs. I'm just going to be playing those nonstop in the nursery.
Sounds good.
So, you know, he'll know where he came from.
He's going to grow up a citizen of Eorzea, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's good.
But games, it'll be a while before he's playing any games at all.
It's true.
Songs,
it's true.
though, you know.
There you
go. we can start to maybe get him interested in things, is what I hope will happen. Mm-hmm. But babies have taste too.
They do, yes.
So the most hilarious thing would be if I introduce him to songs that he hates and I cry about it. And then
he would be very like his mother for that. Not that I hate any of the things that you love.
And then we find out that, I don't know, he likes only country, for example, and I just go, well, time to be a country fan.
Country road, take me home. Okay, no more because we're gonna get copyright strikes.
We could go Dolly Parton. Beyonce just released a basically country album.
True. Beyonce. Let's see. What's the next one? What's the next question? Oh, I think that was the last question that was aimed at both of us.
Oh, okay.
But I love you.
Are you dismissing me?
No, you don't have to go.
She is dismissing me.
Love you. With how important Mallory is, have you considered potentially getting little Nugget their own cat when they're old enough? Yes. I think that it is super duper important for kids to grow up with pets. They teach responsibility. They teach empathy. They teach so many things, so many important lessons, and they are such good friends. That being said, I want to make sure that we do so responsibly and make sure that, Nugget doesn't have any allergies that, would preclude him from having a pet. That would make it so that he can't have a pet. So it's just something that I want to handle responsibly. I've always had cats growing up. I grew up around a lot of dogs as well, though we didn't have any in the house specifically, but I always wanted a dog. And then my parents waited until my sister and I were adults before getting a dog. But that's a different story. I think I saw also earlier, we don't have any other pets. We don't have any other pets. We had Mallory. And she did not play well with others. So, when I adopted her, they said, must be an only child. And, and then I got pregnant and I didn't realize how seriously she was going to take that, so much so that she was like, I refuse to share my mother. I'm yeeting out of this material plane. Whoops. No, I'm kidding. I mean, she had cancer. So and she was 20 years old. It was a long time of sort of waiting for that health shoe to drop. She was so healthy for so long that we were really very lucky. But yeah, I would love for Nugget to be able to grow up with pets. If not cats or dogs, maybe birds or fish, snakes, whatever. I listen, there will be size limits if it's like snakes and lizards, because tanks are rough. Tanks are difficult to deal with. But yeah, bunny rabbits, guinea pigs, we'll figure it out. Pet rocks, great. But yeah, I would absolutely want Nugget to grow up around pets. I just want to make sure that we are responsible pet owners and responsible parents at the same time. Do I know when the baby is due? If so, are you comfortable sharing when? Yeah, I did so both in the pregnancy announcement video, and I think also in the YouTube introduction video I did as well. The official due date is September 7th, but babies generally don't specifically show up on their due date, which is why I said early September. That's generally roughly when we can expect Nugget to get here. So early September. Let's see. Next. So are we also allowed to call you mama, like how you got your name from being asked that by one of your friends? Yes. Yes, you can absolutely call me mama or mother or mom. I'm very comfortable with that. Not mommy. Please don't call me mommy. That one's a little weird. It's got baggage. Kitty works. Kitty is my name. Ms. Kitty also works. So I ended up adding the Ms. in front of the kitty mama because I've worked in libraries for a very long time, and working in the children's rooms a lot of the time, the kids will call you Ms. Ms. or Mr. whatever. And so the kids in the library would be like, "Thank you, Ms. Kitty." And I just, whoa, it's so cute. It just makes me want to pinch their little cheeks. And so, yeah, Ms. Kitty, Kitty, Mama, Mother, Mom, all of those work fine for me. I just said not mommy. I just said not mommy. But yeah. A lot of my friends call me mother. It's just because I'm the mom friend. That's it. I'm just very naturally mothering and maternalistic. And I'm like, "Have you had any water today? What did you eat today? Go to bed. Here's the medication I think you should take." Just very and I'm the type of friend who always, if you see me around Off-Kai, if you see me around conventions, I've always got a big backpack with a bunch of stuff. I've got ibuprofen. I've got Salonpas patches. I've got Ace bandages. I've got what is it? Pepto-Bismol for your tummy if you get a tummy ache. I've got a pharmacy in my bag, and I've got snacks. I've got water. I've got everything you could need. So yeah. That's just the type of friend I am. Literally, when I was 19, I remember my friend and I, let's call her, what did I used to call her? Dodo. Let's call her Dodo. She was my favorite. We were best friends. She was so cute. And we went to Disneyland. I literally packed an Ace bandage in my bag because I knew how accident prone this girl was. And she ended up twisting her ankle at Disneyland, and I just pulled out an ankle brace, and she was like, "How did you know?" And I was like, "Because it's you." I'm usually I'm always prepared. If it's not in my purse, it's in my backpack. If it's not in my backpack, it's in the trunk of my car. I have solutions to problems. I'm simply always prepared. So yeah, that's how I got the name. Can you be my son? That's a trickier question. You can call me mom. I don't necessarily recognize everyone is my son or daughter. You can all generally, collectively, this is the fine line. This is a fine line. Y'all can call me mom, but that doesn't necessarily mean I see you as my child. It's a little different. So, respectfully, no. You are the pages. All right. What's the first video game I've ever played? I was thinking about this one for a really long time. And it's either going to be it's either like Tetris on my mom's like OG Game Boy, or like the putt-putt games. Do y'all remember Humongous Games? And like putt-putt, putt-putt saves the zoo, boop, boop, boop. Putt-putt saves the zoo, boop, boop, boop. No? I played it on Twitch, but I love some putt-putt. I love Humongous Games. Yeah. If you're talking about like what console game, it was probably Mario Kart 64? Something like that. I wasn't allowed to play video games really as a kid. We didn't have any consoles in our house. We only played educational games on the computer, like Math Blaster, Putt-Putt, Jump Start, Pajama Sam, all that stuff. So Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. So I missed out on a lot of the games. Yes, I played The Sims, Oregon Trail. That was a little bit older though. Like, I think they also taught us like Logo, and I thought it was a game. There's some kind of DOS programming software called Logo or something, and I thought as like when I was like 6 that was a game. Zoombinis. Zoombinis is a great one. Yes, I love the Carmen Sandiego series. But yeah, I don't remember. It's easier to say which one was like my first game that I played as an adult. Hold on. I see the Twitch raid. Give me a second. I'm so sorry. 12. Well, thank you so much for the raid. I'm doing a dual stream on Twitch and YouTube right now. So it's hard for me to see raids and things, but I love you. The stream is going very well. We're having a nice time. I hope you had a wonderful stream. Yippee. I love you. We're going to keep going with the AMAs. Raiders, if you have any questions that you want to ask, there's a link pinned at the top of chat with questions where you can ask your questions. We're working through them now. Yeah. All right. What are the top 3 cozy games that I would recommend for someone just getting into cozy games? That's a tricky question. Because, okay, so this is actually a really good question because it leads me into something, a series that I've been wanting to make for YouTube for a very long time. Oh my God, planned content, scripted content. Oh my God. I, for a really long time, have wanted to start a video game review series for YouTube where I play my way through the history like of video games and like very significant games in video gaming history, and rate and review them based on whether or not I think that they're a good game to introduce someone to who's never really played games before. Especially for like certain genres, things like that. Rating them based on things like how well they hold up over time, how available they are, and like how easy it is to play them, like mechanically, but also like, you know, previously I might have said, you know, I really think that Ocarina of Time is a really great game, but it's not very accessible because you have to have an N64, which is such an old console. but now, you know, we have it on the Switch, which means that it's much more accessible because you can have access to it online. And so it's much more easily accessible. So there's a lot of things that for me come to mind when you ask the question, what top 3 cozy games would you recommend for someone just getting into them? And it's like, well, let me tell you, I've got criteria. I've got opinions. I love Stardew Valley, but I think that there are certain things about it that are a little bit less accessible for someone who's just getting into the type of game. For example, the fact that the game doesn't fully unlock until you've met every single villager and you have to figure out how to go around and find every single villager. It's better now with some of the quality of life updates that have been introduced. But like, I would honestly recommend like Animal Crossing New Horizons. I think that is a really good one. I do like a lot of the farming sims. I think in particular, funnily enough, Fae Farm has a very accessible play style. I think that it is it has a lot of really nice quality of life improvements, and the combat in the game is more satisfying than the combat in other farming sim games. I really like Power Wash Simulator. That's my favorite Square Enix game. What else? I know we said top 3, but like I kind of want to try to pick like what, like, from a couple of different like sort of cozy genres, if that makes sense. I think that's most of them though. Cuisinier is a really cute one for like introduction to like a cozy roguelike Diner Dash-ish style game. I would say Minecraft is also very cozy, especially if you play on like peaceful mode, not creative, but peaceful, or like normal survival. Especially if you play with a friend who can help you learn. I think that's one of the best things. Just being able to play with friends really makes things great. Yeah, I think those are some of my top cozy games. Let's see. What's the next question? Oh. What's my favorite genre besides cozy games? You know, you're an adventure RPG kind of gal yourself. I am also an adventure RPG kind of gal. I love Legend of Zelda. Zelda is my favorite. I love Zelda. I do also really like survival games. So like Minecraft Survival, The Forest. What's the second Forest game called? Like the Forest Brotherhood? Something like that. I'm trying to scroll in my... Sons of the Forest, thank you. Yes, Sons of the Forest. Love that. Raft. I love like a sort of like base building experience. I like crafting a lot. Nine, I don't know what Nines is giggling about, but he's having a great time. I don't know if you can hear him. I have heard of Omori. I've not really played. No, you can't hear him. Okay, he was cackling. It was great. But yeah, so I think my favorite genre is definitely action adventure RPGs, and survival crafting games. I like those a lot. I really do. I really like them. Subnautica, that's another great one. I love Subnautica. I cannot stand scary games. I really do not handle spooky, scary shit well at all. But like Subnautica and The Forest are like the spookiest I'll do. You're giggling about Forest Brotherhood? Well, I must have been thinking Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I was like, there's something about brothers or sons or something like that. I don't know. What's the hardest boss I've ever faced? This is gonna sound kind of messed up, but I think maybe Goma from Ocarina of Time. Hear me out. So, Ocarina of Time was my first time sitting down to play like a proper console game. With like controller and everything. And so like when I sat down to fight Goma, I struggled for hours against Goma. I turned it off and I had to leave the game alone for a month and then come back and beat Goma. I don't know that I have taken that long to defeat a boss since. Are there definitely like technically harder bosses? Oh my god, yes. Like Goma's not that hard, but there was something about like that first time really facing an actual like boss in a game for the first time that my brain could not process what the hell was happening. So, yeah, there's definitely way harder bosses that I've beat. Like, oh my gosh, I beat, I think, is it Rufus Nines from FF7 Remake? Like, first try? And really, like, I beat, God, what's the Elden Ring boss that I beat first try as well? Nines, it's like the first boss in Elden Ring that everyone really struggles with. I did bully Melania a little bit, but no. What was the guy? He's in Elden Ring. He like you fight him on that bridge. And he like, oh my god. Yeah, Margot. Yeah, I beat him first try in Elden Ring. And so like I've gotten a lot better. But so I think the first boss I ever fought was the hardest for me. But I've also just bullied a lot of bosses since. Did you summon Roger? I think so. Is it Margit? I see, and that's the thing. I never remember. Is it Margit or Margot? The one you fight on the bridge early on in Elden Ring. Morgot? Margit? Margot? I don't know. That one. I trust y'all. You know. So, yeah. I've fought a lot of bosses, but definitely I think that first boss was the hardest for me. And that's kind of embarrassing. It's both like, I know Morgot and Margit are like different, and I can never remember which one it is. Next, what is my favorite genre of music? Do I have a favorite artist or band? And if so, who are they? Okay. I'm a musical kind of gal. I have a lot of favorites. I did a lot of musical theater, which might not be surprising to anyone. I was a theater kid in high school. Only grew out of it a little bit. I think if I had to pick a favorite genre of music right now, I don't know. I have a lot of favorites. I really like Aurora. I think her music is beautiful, especially her Infections of Another Kind album. I really love Chapel Roan. I love Disturbed. I don't know. My music taste is really all over the place. Like, I liked Metallica back in the day, Twisted Sister. Like pop punk was like my jam when I was younger. Could you just say like any genre? No, like, cause I like different genres for like different, I'm someone who likes music based on the mood that I'm in, and also how much I relate to like the lyrics of the song. And like when I was first like getting into music and developing my like musical taste as a kid, I would just like look up song lyrics and then listen to songs based on the lyrics. And if the music was good along with the lyrics that I liked, then I was like, this is what I like right now. And so there's so much that I like. I'm truly like don't let me borrow the aux cable, because I will. It's a wild ride. It's a roller coaster. If I had to pick one favorite artist right now, probably Chapel Roan. Very basic queer girl answer. Also, yes, I am queer. I am pansexual. I am married to a man, and that's just the person who I married. When I say that I am pansexual, what that means is I do not like, I don't feel attraction based on like people's gender. I like who I like, and there's no real rules to that. In terms of like physical appearance, or like, gender or anything like that. I like who I like. And it's very much the same thing with music. I like the music that I like, and there's not a lot of rules. It's just whatever speaks to me. Pan Pride, hi Ashley. Oh my god, guys, Ashley oh my god, Ashley or Saria's in the chat. We love Ashley. Ashley was in my video, you guys. Blanche was saying this just the other day. I attract a lot of trans people, and you know what? I'm happy to have you guys here. Y'all are so super duper welcome and safe and protected. Trans rights are human rights. All that jazz, obviously. You're just straight? Good for you. You don't have to be queer to have a nice time here. But yeah, this is definitely a safe space for the LGBTQIA+ friendos. We're all Gucci. Let's see. Next, I don't know how I went from talking about music to sexuality, probably because of Chapel Roan. But yeah. What's my favorite Pokemon? Okay, this is probably the most basic answer you're gonna get out of me, unfortunately. I like Eevee. Eevee's my favorite. First of all, Eevee's adorable. Second of all, I think that my attachment to Eevee started watching the Indigo League back when I was like 10. It's like episode 2 or something, where they have this little kid who like tries to abandon his Eevee because his older brothers are trying to force him to pick an evolution for his Eevee, but he loves his little Eevee just the way that it is, and he doesn't want it to change. And I was like, yeah, don't make Eevee change. We love you. So I just love base Eevee without evolving. I do also love that Eevee evolves into like everything. And so like I love Eevee. I just love Eevee. I love Eevee so much. I really want to go back and finish actually Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. I started that game and I didn't finish it, and it's so stinking cute. I love it so much. But yeah, deep Eevee love lore. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Next, what is one language that you don't already know that you'd love to learn someday? So I speak English, obviously. And I know Spanish somewhat. I'm not great at Spanish. I used to be better at Spanish. But I do know enough Spanish. I would really love to learn Japanese and Korean. Because I really want to go to Japan and South Korea. I think that would be super duper fun. I have traveled quite a bit. I've traveled to, a bunch of different places around the United States. I've been to Costa Rica, Mexico, Spain, Germany, England. Like, I've been around. And I've never been to the Asian continent, and I would love to go. I want to go to Japan, and I want to go to South Korea, and I want to like go to all the weeby places, and I want to do a camping tour of like going to all of the campsites in Laid Back Camp, and I want to go camping and make nice food and like go to all the onsens and have a nice time. I think that would be lovely. And I've heard that Korean is a not easy language to learn, but it is it's an easy language to learn how to like read and write in. Like the written language for it is really easy. But I think it would be really cool. I did try to learn what's it called? I tried to learn Italian once, but because I already knew Spanish and Latin, I wasn't able to like learn. I wasn't able to separate Italian from either one because it's such like a kind of combination of both. But yeah, I am tattoo free. I know that there are rules in onsens about tattoos. There are also places that are more open to people with tattoos in Japan. So it's just a matter of finding, where you can go. I do want to get a tattoo, actually. I want to get a tattoo for remembering Mallory. But I cannot get tattooed until I am not pregnant or breastfeeding. So it's gotta wait for a while. So maybe I'll go to onsens before I get my tattoos. Next. Simple question. What is your favorite game and favorite book /book series? That's it. Bye. Okay. Favorite book series. My favorite author is Tamara Pierce. She writes coming of age stories for young women that are beautiful, amazing fantasy stories. And they're all like built in, she's an incredible world builder where she creates these really rich worlds. And each of her series are like, they build on each other. So like she has her Tortall books, right? So the first ones start with the Song of the Lioness. And it's the Lioness books are 4 books long and they're all about Alanna. And then the next one is the Immortals Quartet. And the Immortals Quartet follows Dane. And it's like a few years after the end of Alanna's books. And like Dane gets to meet Alanna and they do heroic things together. And then the next series is the Protector of the Small series, and that follows Keledri, and like it's even further down along in the same world. It's a few years after that. Dane is one of her teachers, Alanna is her hero, and like she's learning to be a knight. And then like after that, there's another series that's about Alanna's daughter, and so it's like it's all like chronologically happening in the same world. And I really love the way that she builds magic and the way that she tells these great stories. She also has a background in working in like group homes for teen girls. And so she writes stories based on stories that she felt that the girls who were in like teen group homes needed to hear. And they're absolutely beautiful. Absolutely love. And because they're for like younger people and especially younger women, the writing isn't very complicated and the books aren't too long. So they're really great. Tamara Pierce is the author. I will write it down in chat. I think, yeah, okay. That should have sent in both chats. No, it's Song of the Lioness, not the Tigress. Lioness. But yeah, go to her website, check out her stuff. She's amazing. I like everything that she's written. It is not, it's very much young adult and aimed for young women specifically. But absolutely fantastic. If you're not interested in reading about a young woman, which honestly, I don't know why you wouldn't, why you would care, but she does also have another series called, it's her Emelon books, The Circle of Magic. And that's about like a group of kids who are all orphans who discover that they have magic powers and who get adopted together basically and like explore their powers. The Circle of Magic series is much less, she started writing it later in the early 2000s, and you can really tell how much she'd like grown as a writer since, you know, the other books when she wrote that series. And I highly recommend Circle of Magic. So yeah, Tamara Pierce, I feel like she's got something for everyone. Really, really, really great. Okay, we got another long one here. Whoop. Hey,
it has been more than 5 months, but hello from Italy. I can't sleep.
I'm sorry you can't sleep. All right. Hello, Miss Kitty Mama. I'm new to pages here. Dear Ms. Librarian, can you recommend me a book or few? Preferably the underrated ones. Tamara Pierce! Anything goes, you guys. History, science, romance, humor, fairy tales, magic, crime, mystery, memoirs, except no horror, thriller, or drama. Yes, send my regards to Mallory. A female orange cat is quite rare. It's true. Maybe you're going to come across a male calico next. Who knows? They bring, they're known to bring luck, at least in Asia, folklore/myth. Very cool. PSS, I pray for you to have safe labor. Thank you. Me too. Another book, and I'll go in a slightly different direction for this one. Another book that I recommend is called Book and Dagger by Elise Graham. And it is a really, really good nonfiction book about how librarians and professors became what we know to be the CIA today during World War II. So, it is a really, really interesting book that is told with like a combination of like hard facts, but also like narrative storytale elements where she describes, she shares parts of letters that were written and tells people's stories like through a narrative lens, describes the actual facts and like where she's taking this information from, and then shares it in like a this part isn't stated anywhere, but this is how I like to imagine that part of this went. And it's a really, really cool series. It's a really, really cool book. It is nonfiction, so it's different from, you know, can I type in the title? Yes. Can I spell is the other problem. There we go. There you go. So yeah, it is a very, very cool book. I have not finished it yet, but I am working on it. I also read a lot of manhwa and like webtoons. Mostly like villainous revenge and romance plots. Love those. That's a whole separate thing. But I don't think I have time to get into all of that. But I do love my manhwa. I have like, I love manga as well. Manga, manhwa. Yes. If I weren't a librarian, what other profession would I have? And as a librarian, has your opinion on books changed at all? If I weren't a librarian, I feel like I'd be a really good assistant. Like, I would love to be like someone's manager or agent. I feel like I would do such a good job with that. I'm an excellent salesperson, is part of the thing. I am really good at networking, making connections with people, and selling stuff. So I feel like I would, yeah, for like a celebrity, or like, you know, I would really love to get into like, I would love to be a manager for like a VTuber or like an online personality even. But yeah, I think generally being like a manager or agent for someone in the arts, I would be really, really good at, or doing sales of some kind. I make money when I do retail. I'm very, very good at selling things. Let's see. What's the worst thing you've ever done? I don't know. I got caught trying to shoplift a Monster from a gas station once. That's probably the worst. They let me go because I put it back and I was sad. because I wanted a monster, but I was broke and I didn't have any money. So I didn't shoplift. I tried to shoplift. That's the worst thing I've ever done. I did not succeed. The crime was not committed. Failed shoplifting is probably the worst thing I've ever done. Yeah. That or probably accidentally hurting someone's feelings. Through just being like not aware. Listen, I was 20 and stupid, okay? We all make mistakes. Let's see. 100 men versus a gorilla. What are your thoughts? Had to ask. The obvious answer is, of course, 100 men are going to win against a gorilla. However, how many men are going to be dead at the end of that? Great question. I would love to see how many the gorilla would destroy. Because it is the gorilla's gonna like the sheer number of men will obviously eventually overpower the gorilla, but like the first like 20 people that come after the gorilla at least are all dead. At least the first like 25 men are all dying trying to overpower the gorilla. So like, yeah. Okay, and then that's the last question of everything that I downloaded. What if they're protected and all have overpowering weapons? Well, that's not the question though, because like all it takes is one man with a gun against a gorilla. Like, we've seen it. Like, rest in peace, Harambe. But like, it has to be men like unarmed and unprotected. That's the premise. But you're quite, listen, I'm now going to go to the Marshmallow site, hit refresh, and see how many new questions there are. That was just the questions that were already downloaded before stream started. Thank you so much for the follow. Oh my God. There's a lot of questions here. All right. Let's, oh God. Rest in peace is me. Let's get through some of these. How is your pregnancy going? Great. It's been like, I should scroll back to earlier ones actually. But I'll answer that one first because I started. How's the pregnancy going? Really, really well. Shockingly easy. I was very surprised that I had over 100, no, but it's 87. 87 questions. So we're gonna speed run. The only hiccups happened early on in the pregnancy. I developed around like the second or third month, I developed what's called a subchorionic hematoma. Basically, there was some bleeding at some point, and that trapped blood in like a pocket in my uterus. And so I randomly one day started bleeding very heavily. And that was really scary. And I had to go to the emergency room. But nothing was wrong. And the hematoma resolved itself on its own. I didn't even have any morning sickness. No weird cravings or anything really. It was some scary amounts of bleeding, like twice, and then it was all better. So the pregnancy is going really, really well. And everything is going very, very smoothly. Nugget's doing great. Average size growing beautifully. Let's see. Oh God, I'm going. Back to the beginning. All right. What are your thoughts on doing a racing stream? Maybe another sim racing game like GT7 or F. Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm terrible at racing games. I cannot stay on the road. Mario Kart is like the exception. I don't. It would be if I got into racing games, like. I've run out of like every other game. I don't have a whole lot of interest in them. I find them to be pretty boring. We could do Mario. We could do Mario Kart though. Or like whatever that Sonic racing game is, maybe. Yeah, a lot of these are gonna be most racing games are gonna be a nah for me, dog. But like if it's a really cute racing game that has like some characters that I'm familiar with, maybe. When is the baby due? We already answered that one. Early September. Which friend give your favorite? We did that one. Hi, Miss Kitty Mama. You found me from the pregnancy announcement. Thank you. Congratulations, and will you ever consider playing Genshin Impact? I have played Genshin Impact. Gacha games just aren't like super for me. I would consider going back to Genshin, but I just don't really get it. I think the characters are really pretty. I do. And I'm interested in like following along and like listening to people talking about Genshin. But honestly, it's gacha games are a little overwhelming for me. Other than that, the only gacha game that I really play is Infinity Nikki. But they're kind of screwing up right now. So we're not going back to that. What about Honkai Star Rail? Nines plays Honkai Star Rail. And I love that for him. I think I would consider Honkai Star Rail more than Genshin. I'm not really sure though. I just don't know. Next question. What is your bra size? Who sent this? Who sent this? Who did it? Ya nasty. I don't know. Last time I was measured, it was like, what, like a 36F cup or something insane, and they've gotten bigger since I got pregnant. Next question. Who keeps you motivated? And I hope God can bless your family. Thank you for the well wishes. I am not religious. Who keeps me motivated? My family, you know, my husband, my friends, being surrounded by people who I look up to, who are doing cool and exciting things, and who inspire me and make me want to like do as well as them. Yeah. If I was transported to another world, which of them would be my favorite to be in, and what type of job would I like to have? I'd like to be transported into like a really chill slice of life fantasy world, and I would love to be like a D&D style druid in that world. I love like nature powers and like magic. As for a type of job, I'd probably just live out my farming fantasy dream and like help whatever little village I end up in thrive. How has pregnancy changed my daily life so far? I'm very tired. Pregnancy makes me tired. That's, I guess, kind of the main thing. Hey, thank you for the super chat. I do read YouTube chat. I have been reading YouTube chat. I'm trying to go back and forth between reading the two, but I already said because I'm reading so many questions, I'm mostly focusing on getting through the questions from the marshmallows, rather than reading too much of chat. But yeah, pregnancy has changed my daily life so far, and so pretty much from I don't go to the gym anymore. Because when I was diagnosed with the hematoma, they basically said, like, don't go to the gym anymore. Rest. Just rest a lot. And so I've been trying to do that. I do still go on walks sometimes, but I'm very, very, very tired. The pregnancy has zapped my energy. The fatigue is real. Also, pregnancy insomnia is wild. Girdle pain, forget about it. I hate it. It's terrible. There's also stuff I can't eat. Probably the biggest difference is I can't drink coffee. Ugh. I love coffee. I drink my coffee black and I love it. It's delicious and I can't have it while pregnant. And that once I'm done breastfeeding, I'm gonna chug an entire pot of coffee. Do I plan on going back to the gym after my pregnancy? Yes, because I have scoliosis and I need to go to the gym to keep my back in order and to keep my bones from moving. Coffee is not too acidic for pregnancy. It's actually the caffeine. You're not supposed to have more than a certain number of milligrams of caffeine while per day while you're pregnant. And I do not have self-control when it comes to coffee. I drink a whole pot a day sometimes. And so, yeah. You can do research on why caffeine is not allowed. There is like a bunch of stuff and there's a lot of research into it. And they're like, well, you can have a little bit, but not too much. And just because I can't control my caffeine consumption, I do not have the required impulse control to do that. I have opted to go off of caffeine. And so I haven't had any caffeine since New Year's Day. And I'm so sad about it. The only coffees I've had have been decaf. And it's pure copium. Pure copium. It does not feel the same without the caffeine buzz. It makes me so sad. As a librarian, do you have any favorite books? We've been over that. How intense is your... I don't know what that means. Kayfabe? Kayfabe? Huh? Oh, maintaining stories and characters and all that stuff. The character. So basically, it is somewhat, like in, hi Sapphire! Yeah, like in wrestling. I don't know how to pronounce that because I don't really know a lot about wrestling. But okay, so the rest of the question, do you view VTubing as more of an anonymity thing? Or do you see yourself as playing a character? You know, I have a lore for the character. Just wonder how much of that is taken into account during streams. My character is myself. And like is largely based on like me in real life. I exist both as my flesh self and as my VTuber self. They are the same character, just like with extra stuff sprinkled in. So I take like the storyline and the lore build up somewhat seriously for how I want to see like my outfits develop and how my powers and the environment of the library changes throughout my content creation career. But and I do view VTubing as somewhat of an anonymity thing, but it is largely just based on myself. So it's basically, so it's not very intense. There's lore, but it's not very intense. It's not that serious. And it's all based on me anyways. And thank you for shouting out Sapphire. I love Sapphire. Everyone should follow Sapphire. Sapphire also has a YouTube channel as well and a TikTok, and everything she makes is amazing and all of her streams are amazing. So you guys should follow Sapphire Ghost 914. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's see. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday. Also, I saw someone say throne about something. I did want to say, if y'all are interested, I did put baby presents on the throne as well. Some people have been buying a few of those things already. I really appreciate it. It's just helping us set up the nursery. If that's a thing that y'all wanted to do to support, feel free to check it out. It's linked on both Twitch and YouTube. Just letting y'all know that that's out there. Next question. Am I a dog or a cat person? Yes, I'm an animal person. I love almost all animals. Bugs and spiders, I'm a little bit more iffy about, but I'm a big time animal lover. I did pet sitting for a really long time. So as I've been a caretaker for cats, dogs, guinea pigs, bunnies, horses, goats, sheep, snakes, lizards, fish, birds, I've done them all. Cats tend to fit my lifestyle best. So, maybe cat person in that sense, but I love all animals so much. I really do. If I were to create a video game, what genre would I make and what would be the plot? I would probably make a farming. Actually, no. I would make a game. That's actually a really good question. I'm going to come back to that one. Hi, Miss Kitty Mama. I'm preparing to debut in the coming months. Congratulations. Besides the model and rigging, what's the small stuff you shouldn't forget about? Like background music, transitions, starting student screens and such. All of that is already fantastic. What I would say, don't worry about it being perfect, because it's not going to be. Whatever preparation you do to try to make it perfect, there's still going to be scuff, and people love scuff. So don't forget that scuff is going to happen despite all of your best preparations, and just try to have fun with it. Aside from that, make sure that your audio sounds as good as you can make it. Because, good audio can forgive a lot of crimes. If people can't stand to listen to you, though, they're not going to want to listen, and they're gonna go away. But I think good audio is probably one of the best things that you can do. So make sure that you spend some time working on setting up your audio filters and making sure that everything sounds really good. And the rest you'll figure out as you go. Favorite weird food combination? For example, you love peanuts and peanut butter and Coke or Pepsi together. That's very strange. I would say probably... why did my bra size get asked a second time? That's crazy. I actually answered that question. Someone asked it a second time. That's wild. Favorite weird food combination? I'll put pesto on a lot of stuff. I'll put pesto on a lot of things. Because I just love pesto. I'm a very picky eater. And so generally speaking, if I'm trying something new, or like if I'm trying to eat something that I don't like very much, I'll just put pesto on it, even if it doesn't really belong on that. Other than that, I'll also I'll eat like canned tuna and goldfish crackers. I don't think that's weird though. I don't think that's that weird. I just don't. Oh my God, is that Star Habit I see? I love you. I love Star. I love you so much, Star. I do. Let me see. Yeah. How many kids do you think you'll want? Ask me after I've had one. I think 2 or 3 is the maximum that I'm willing to consider. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes having just one. Do you plan on having any pets and getting more pets? Yes. Eventually. I already answered how did I become a VTuber? When did I start? Some of these are repeats. What's your favorite thing about Nines and what's your dumbest stunt story? And Nine's dumbest story. I don't know what dumbest stunt story means. My favorite thing about Nines. I love his smile. And I love how kind he is. I love the way that he thinks things through. Even if I don't always agree with the conclusion that he comes to, I feel like how he gets to his conclusions is always something that is like so thoughtful and always makes sense and is ultimately something that, you know, aligns with my values, and like we align with each other's values in ways that you don't always expect. I think he's handsome. I think he's so smart and wonderful. He's also an idiot, and I love that. I love that so much. Dumbest thing Nines and I have ever done. I have a lot of really great stories of dumb things that Nines has done, because Nines is goofy. I need you to know. I need you to know that Nines is really, really, really goofy. So, for example, we have this thing in our household called the golden spoon fallacy. We were just talking about it today. So when Nines and I moved into our current place, we were looking to buy a lot of stuff for the house, right? One of the things that we were looking at was utensils. We needed to buy utensils for the house. So like months prior, we'd been out at a restaurant, right? And the restaurant it was a Chinese food place. They had these really cool, like dark gold, matte finished, like Korean style utensils. And Nines said that they were really cool. And I was like, yeah, you like these? You like gold utensils? And he was like, yeah, I've never really seen anything like these. They're fantastic. And I like, you know, being me, I was like, I'm going to make a mental note of that. So when we were going to buy things for the house, I added some golden spoons, some golden matte finish Korean style spoons to my wish list of things that I was looking at. I invited him to look over my shoulder at like all the things that I had picked out, and he spots these golden utensils and he's like, you want gold utensils? Why do you want gold utensils? And I was like, oh, well, because like when we went to that one restaurant, you said that you really liked the utensils. And so I thought that we could like get them for ourselves and have those. And he's like, I don't remember that happening. I don't know about that. I was like, oh, well, would you rather we get silver ones? Because they have them in silver. And he's like, yeah, let's get some silver ones. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I don't care. But so we got the silver ones and but I left the gold ones in my cart just in case, like, you know, we needed more or we decided we wanted to get more or something. Months later, he's looking over my shoulder at this same wish list because I wanted to show him something else. And he goes, oh my God, are those gold utensils? Those are so cool. And I swear to God, I almost had an aneurysm. Like, the way the blood vessels popped out of my forehead. And I was like the gold utensils? Yeah, really? And then I reminded him of all the things that had happened, and he was like, oh yeah, I did say that. Oh yeah, that did happen. Oh man. We could still get the golden spoons. And I was like, it is too late. We don't have enough room for more utensils. And he was like, we could do it. We could get the golden spoons. And I'm like, no, it's over. But like that type of thing happens with Nines all the time, where he like decides that he likes something, forgets, and then has to rediscover, and then he likes it. He does it with people. He does it with stuff. And like, I just get to sit there and I have to wait, because if I try to force him to like something, or I try to force him or tell him, then like he'll hate it forever. So I just have to wait until he like comes back around and then act on it immediately the second time. So like, yeah, it's so funny. It's so we call that the golden spoon fallacy, where he forgets that he likes things all the time. Another one was when we first found out that I was pregnant, I was looking at my empty cup of coffee like, man, we just brewed a whole fresh pot this morning. Maybe we should maybe I should taper off. You know, I've been having a lot of coffee lately. Like, maybe I should just have like one small cup a day so that I don't have to have like a total caffeine deprivation meltdown, so that I don't have to go into withdrawals from the caffeine. But I was sitting there having that conversation with myself, and then Nines came upstairs and was like, babe, I was so brave. Be so proud of me. And I was like, what did you do? And he's like, I poured that entire pot of coffee down this drain. I was brave for both of us. We're both quitting coffee together. And so I threw away all the coffee. And I was like, you monster. And then I proceeded the next day to have the biggest, like, caffeine withdrawal symptoms. I had a migraine that I couldn't take anything for, because you can't hardly take any freaking medications when you are pregnant. So I couldn't take anything for the nausea. I couldn't take anything for the headache. I took some acetaminophen eventually, but we had to like DoorDash acetaminophen because we didn't have any in the house. And he's just sitting there watching me helplessly like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, everything he does, you know, it's always very thoughtful and comes from such a good place, but sometimes it's also a little stupid. Did you submit a question in the Marshmallow Dream? I didn't see your question. You did indeed. Well, I'm scrolling. I've got 87 questions to get through. And I went to the bottom. And so we're going up from there. Let's see. Robbie here. I hope you have a good time in the US. I mean, yeah, it's where I live. Question, other than being pregnant, what is the best moment on your streams? It can be both YouTube and Twitch. Greetings from Romania. And don't ask what time it is. Okay, it's quite late. Fair enough. What is my favorite moment on stream? All the times that I've spent with my friends on stream, to be honest. Like all the different collabs that I've had and the funny, silly, goofy moments that me and my friends have had together are like collectively my favorites. Like, yeah, there are some individual funny moments that are like some of my favorites over time of things that like I've done or things that I've accomplished. But like every collab that I have with my friends is like my next favorite one. It might be a cop-out, but I really love my friends and I really love spending time with them. Does your library contain all the knowledge in the world? Yes, all the knowledge in the world and every story that has ever been written lives within this library, and the library is constantly moving and evolving to accommodate new stories as they come into existence. Favorite genre of books to read and why? Fantasy and historical fiction, because I like escapism. You and Kaz are making a 3D model figure of me. What's my color palette? Not this one. Not this one. Hold on. This is my color palette. It is... Hold on. I'll put myself on the desk. You ever just forget how everything works? If ever you need to know, I do have like, you know, a preview of this that I have a reference sheet that I can share. So, just feel free to ask in the Discord, especially, and I will send you whatever you need. Yippee. Let's see. Did I call it a spreadsheet? A reference sheet. What them heels do, though? Not much. Oops. Oh my God. The Marshmallow website refreshed. Oh God, let me get back to the bottom. Okay, got that. How does one become a librarian? So, it depends. The quote-unquote easiest way to do it is to become a professional librarian, which I technically am not. You are required to get a Master's of Library and Information Sciences. So you can basically study whatever you want to in college for your undergrad. It doesn't super duper matter. And then you apply to grad school to study in a Library and Information Sciences master's program. And then you get that, and then you can get work as a librarian. The way that I have gone about it, and a way that's a bit more accessible, you can get a library job that's not specifically a librarian job by applying to be a page. Pages are part-timers who put books on shelves. That's like their whole job, is putting books on the shelves and just reshelving books when they've been returned to the library. there you can also work as like a circulation assistant, which is primarily what I do. I'll get to that ice bag. I'll get to the Discord profile picture. I will, I promise. So working in circulation is can be full-time or part-time, and oh my gosh, I need some water. Pardon me. So, working in circulation, you only need either being a page or a circulation assistant. Generally speaking, the only thing you need is a high school diploma. And you can work your way up to being a librarian by just working in these lower level positions and working your way up over time. And sometimes certain libraries will even finance you going to get your master's degree if you keep working with the same library for a long time, depending on the library, their policy, all those other things. But generally speaking, the most established path is by getting your master's in library and information sciences. Good evening, Mrs. Librarian. Good evening. You hope my week has gone very well. It has, thank you. As an enjoyer of books and reading, you were wondering if you could please have my opinion of one of your favorite stories, Robinson Crusoe. I don't know anything about it. I'm so sorry. Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I just don't know it. So, not applicable out of 10. Also, thank you for congratulating me on the pregnancy. What breed is your cat? I actually got her genetics done. Mixed a lot of things. Technically, her main breed was American Shorthair, but with long hair. Like, she was just a long-haired tabby, an orange long-haired tabby cat, basically. She was beautiful. She was beautiful. Here, hold on. Oh God, I did not mean to hit the home button. That made me scroll all the way up to the top. She was a street cat. She was found wandering the streets when she was a year old. And yeah. So like, I don't know. I can show you a picture of her though. A nice bigger picture. Let me see. Whatever this is what she was. She was beautiful. She was an angel. We love her. She was very fluffy. So elegant. So wonderful. So baby. So grumpy old lady. We love her. We love her so much. She was beautiful. And I miss her. I miss her so much. I really do. But I already did my crying about it. I already did all my crying. So we're not going to cry anymore today about it. What is the natural logarithm of 0? I don't know. Isn't it like undefined or something? I don't know. Top 10 favorite anime worlds to live in and why? And then how did you get your name? God. I got my name because my name is Kitty, and I'm the mom friend of the group. And one of my friends asked me once upon a time when I was like 16 if she could call me mom. And I said, yeah. And then that eventually just turned into my friends either calling me mom or Kitty Mama. And so that's how I got my name. Top 10 anime. That's a big question. I don't know. I want to go live in the laid back camp world. It seems really nice there. Or maybe like isekai izakaya, because like there's really good food. Or also restaurant to another world, Nobu. That seems nice. Any of the ones that have really nice food and like the world is chill. You know, maybe preferably one with magic in it, but like no war, you know? I don't know, nice places. Are your friends gonna be aunts and uncles? Yes. Yes, they are. Favorite video game of all time? Probably Ocarina of Time. Probably Ocarina of Time. Favorite Hololive VTubers? I don't watch a whole lot of Hololive, but I really enjoy seeing clips of Korone. I think she's wonderful. I also like Subaru. I think she's really fun. Ina. I like Ina a lot. Those are probably my top 3. Since you're a librarian, what list of books do you want to read to your child? Oh my gosh, so many. There's so many books I want to read to my kid. There are a lot of really, really great picture books that I want to read, like Horton Hears a Who and like Ferdinand the Bull, The Little Engine That Could. There's so many. So many books. I cannot wait to read to my kid. Yeah, I answered that question, Lance. The short answer is, you can call me mom, but that doesn't mean I acknowledge you as my child. So, no, not be my son, but you can still call me mom. I love the Go the Fuck to Sleep book. I think that book is so funny. Good Night Moon. Great. What started your love of books? I actually used to hate reading when I was a kid. Because I was forced to read. When I realized that books could be a really fun form of escapism, and that I could like let my imagination transport me into a more fun place to be, that was probably what really started my love of books. Yeah, just mostly the escapism aspect of fantasy books. I didn't like it before because everyone was trying to make me read all the classics, and I was a very contrary kid. I didn't want to do stuff just because people told me to. Yeah, but once I started reading books that I actually cared about and that interested me, that was like the big game changer. Favorite song? Yours is Propose by Nine Lana. I don't know who that is, but probably one of my favorite songs right now, for a while actually, has been Daydreamer by Aurora. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Favorite breed of cat? The cat kind. I don't know. I've always adopted strays and rescues. So I haven't really like looked for cats based on breed. Nor have I ever really known the breeds of any of my cats. I like cat. I like cats. How many languages do you speak? English, some Spanish, some American Sign Language, and I can still read like a tiny bit of Latin. And then I know like minimal amounts of like Japanese. I can say like, hello, my name is this, it's nice to meet you. And that's about it. But yeah, mostly it's just English and Spanish and some American Sign Language. Speaks some Spanish. Hola, me llamo Kiri y soy de los Estados Unidos. Estoy embarazada y mucho gusto. I don't know. Like, what else? Like, let's see. What is your favorite weather and why? I love sunny weather, especially like spring and summer. I love going swimming when the sun is out. I like taking naps in my hammock in the shade. I generally prefer warm weather. Warm, sunny weather. Do I plan on getting another cat? One day. How many cats do you have? I had one and now I have none. Are you nervous or excited to be a mother? Yes, both. I am very excited, but I also recognize that it is a really big responsibility. And I want to traumatize my kid as little as possible. So I am nervous, but I'm also very excited. Do I like anime? Yes. Yes, I do. I like, especially slice of life anime. Slice of life and like isekai fantasy trash. Those are like but like, especially if it's like fantasy or isekai that would fall into the like slice of life genre. Those are my favorites. Favorite music genre? We've been over this. I like a lot of different music. What's the hardest thing about pregnancy? Just that everything feels very weird and it feels like it happens very quickly and very slowly all at the same time. Probably the girdle pain, like the pelvic pain, and also the like fatigue have been the two biggest issues for me personally. I definitely have waddled quite a bit. My pelvis has widened enough that I walk around very duck-footed. Let's see. Do you have eye bag toggles? No, but I have made them before, for myself. So I could do it again. I do think that they're very funny and I probably will add them back on. No pressure, any collaboration, however improbable, what would you like to do? I would love to have a podcast with Matara Khan. If I had to pick an Oshi, Matara Khan is definitely like up there for me. And I just feel like she and I could talk about things for forever. I think that we would have so much fun just like talking forever. I think that could be a really, really fun time. That is probably like my dream collab that is very unlikely to happen. Did I ever dream of blowing up on YouTube or did I have any other dreams? I never dreamed that it would happen like this. I always imagined that if I got really big and like made, Twitch partner, YouTube partner, it would be because of like a very long buildup over many years, where I've finally like dedicated a lot of time to like, you know, really building up my content and learning a lot of things. I did not think I would go viral for being pregnant. I didn't think anyone was going to see that video. I thought that was just going to be a nice little archive on YouTube for my community that they would be able to reference. I did not dream that this would happen in a million years. Probably an obvious answer, but when I posted the video, was I expecting to get the traction that I did? I just answered that, no. No, I did not. Not even a little bit, not even at all. Will the YouTube content be pulled out of stream, or will you make it separately? Both. I want to make like highlighted versions of VODs, or just upload my VODs and clips to YouTube, but I do also want to make more thoughtful pre-recorded content for YouTube that is just like harder to do on Twitch. So for example, I was talking about the I need to blow my nose again. I was talking about the like gaming review series that I really want to make. And so I was thinking that, you know, I would play through the games probably live on Twitch, put the VODs from that up on YouTube, and then also make like pre-recorded content reviewing the games in a more edited and scripted fashion, and have that be strictly YouTube content. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna blow my nose. Oh my goodness. All right. Do I like anime? Yes. How am I doing today? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Hello, Miss Kitty Mama. I'm a new viewer that found your channel through YouTube and saw that one video. Yep. Just want to say congratulations to you and your husband. Thank you. Your question is, and you're sorry if it's personal, but what age did I start to like books, and what gave you the title of The Librarian as a VTuber? I recommend checking out the lore video for the whole librarian story. But I'm a librarian. I work in libraries in real life. That's why. At what age did I start to like books? I always liked them. I always liked some book. I liked books, and then I fell out of love with books when I started having to read them for school and like the classics. But then I fell back in love with books when I was like 10. So I've very much loved books for a very long time. Generic question, how far along are you with the baby? If we're talking months, like 5 months. If we're talking weeks, almost 26 weeks. Now, that's confusing. Why? Most of the time you would say, but Kitty, months are 4 weeks. And so if you do it that way, if you say, well, 26 weeks, that would mean you're like 6.5 months pregnant. Well, okay. Except like months are over 28 days long. And so the math doesn't exactly math out. And so it's a little confusing. But yeah, so in terms of months, can I do math? I forgot about that April existed. 5 months. I was like, I know it's 5 months, but like I skipped April. April was a rough month. But yeah, so if we're talking months, 5 months. If we're talking weeks, I am 25 weeks and 5 days. So like almost 26 weeks. Let's see. Hello, how are you? I hope you're getting much rest. That's all. I'm getting as much rest as I can with trying to... I've got my subathon going on Twitch. And I've been trying to keep up with all the new stuff that's been happening on YouTube. And also, I have pregnancy insomnia. So I'm getting as much rest as I can. Today, specifically, I slept pretty well last night. And I had a really dope nap before I streamed today. So that was really good. Nine's got me food from one of my favorite sandwich places. And I had some ice cream. And then I had a really dope nap. We already answered the what inspired me to be a VTuber. Mental health and creativity. Let's see. Hi, Miss Kitty Mama. Hello. I'm a person who just recently discovered you after that one video. I want to say congratulations to you and your husband. Thank you. This question came after seeing the recent video that was posted, and you apologize if it might seem personal, but at what age did you start reading? I started reading young. Like I said earlier, I loved books, and then I hated books, and then I loved books again. I became known as a librarian VTuber because I am a librarian. Probably answered many times. I was curious if you're actually a librarian. Yes, I'm not a professional librarian. I don't have like the master's degree, but I work in libraries at the front desk. I check the books in and out, and I would be what is colloquially known as a librarian. Though that wouldn't be my official job title. It would probably be like library circulation assistant. Hello, Kitty Mama. Hello, name's Draco. Hi, Draco. This is your question. I was curious to know if you would ever consider making a Discord server for all your lovely pages to vibe in. I already have one. It is already linked on my YouTube. So, yeah. It's there. Are there any books that I would recommend? We did that one. This is from CT Racing Corner. Hello, CT Racing Corner. Congrats on being pregnant. I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you. You already imagine me letting Nugget try different foods. Do I think I'll let the little guy try a bit of lemon? If he really wants to. If for some reason he is just so determined to try that lemon, yeah, he can try the lemon. Kids gotta learn. I also actually like eating lemons. Am I gonna get the Switch too? No. What are your favorite books to read in the library? We've done that. Any plans for more kids after Nugget? We'll see after Nugget. Let's see how Nugget goes. Because, you know, this is one of the things that I've also said a lot going into it. A birth plan is exactly that. It's a plan that can go awry at any given time. And the worst case scenario isn't that you have to alter your birth plan. It's that you and your kid both die. So, you know, giving birth is, as much as it happens all the time, every day, the worst case scenario is that you and your kid both die. So, let's see what happens. You know, let's see if there's, like, if anything goes, like, super wrong, if anything horrible happens, if, you know, for some reason, I'm unable to have more kids after the first one. Like, there's a lot that goes into the question for any plans for more kids. Maybe we'll see what happens after Nugget. What's your favorite anime? Probably my favorite individual anime is actually New Game. New Game or Laid Back Camp. Those are my top two. I really, really love them. Draco again. Okay. I mentioned talking about video games. So you instantly thought of playing Pokemon and later introducing Nugget. If so, will you do that? Yes, absolutely. We have plans to get the Pocket Analog, I think it's called, something like that, where you can play like old games, old like Game Boy games and stuff on a newer analog, like a newer little handheld console that's made to be able to play from the old cartridges. And we would really like to get him one of those And I would like to introduce him to Pokemon that way. I think it would be really fun. Before that, I do want to do the really cute little Pokemon starter thing. If you guys haven't seen this, sometimes parents will take their kids to a toy store and they'll put like Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur like on the ground. And then the baby, whichever one of the toys that the baby crawls to and chooses, that's like their quote unquote starter Pokemon. And I think it would be really cute to do that with Nugget. Already answered what my favorite anime is, but it says, what's your favorite anime if you watch anime or TV show? Aside from anime, I do watch a lot of crime procedurals or just procedurals in general, but like Law and Order, Criminal Minds, Numbers, oh my gosh. I can't think of their names. I can't think of Crossing Jordan, Forensic Files, like so many different procedural crime shows. That's like my bread and butter. Murder, She Wrote. I love a story of the week style setting. Do I have a nickname for my VTuber? I don't know. Kitty? Mom? Love Bones. Bones is a great one. I do love Bones. Do you ever play Roblox? No. No, I do not. Do I like anime and do I have a nickname? Kitty or Mom or Mama? And yes, I like anime. We've done that. Will you play horror games? I will play horror games, but I don't like horror games. But I will do it especially for money. I'm just being very real about that. I will do it for money. I will do it for fundraising for charities usually. Hey Mama, hope, how are you doing today? I'm doing well. Hopefully good. Your 2 questions is 1, do I like anime? Yes. 2, will the stream be up on YouTube once it's done? Yes. Yes, it will. We already did favorite genre of music. Favorite sci-fi show for you, it's Doctor Who. I like Doctor Who. I think Doctor Who is probably up there for favorite sci-fi show. Did I finish Resident Evil? Which one? I've played through 4, 7, and 8. I did not finish 2. As for the doctors, my favorite doctor was probably Tennant. David Tennant. Who's your favorite Canadian and why is it Dream? Because Dream is wonderful and amazing. I would say tied with my other favorite Canadians, Star Habit and Druid Queen and Champ Domain. I love all my little Canadians, my little maple leaves. I love you. Mwah, kisses. Yeah. Oh my God, it's refreshing again. Okay. We're making it through. What country do you want to go to or have already? I answered this earlier. I really want to go to South Korea and Japan. And honestly, I think it would be really cool to just travel around Southeast Asia because I haven't really been there. I would like to go to Ireland as well. Ireland and Scotland, never been. I've done most of my traveling in the United States and Central America and Europe. I've already been to Germany, England, Spain, Costa Rica. I think that's it. Will I continue doing the lives, the dual streaming? Maybe. It's definitely much more complicated. I think I'll still mostly be streaming on Twitch and posting VODs on YouTube. But I think when I do certain like special things, especially outside of gaming, I will do that I will dual stream that. It's just a little bit more complicated, for a variety of reasons, including but not limited to, I have terrible internet, and so I have to use Restream in order to be able to dual stream. Yeah, that definitely like makes things more complicated. I also don't have like a very good concept of what is and isn't allowed on YouTube, especially for live streams. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out. But I will definitely do more dual live streams like this, but it definitely won't be every live stream. Most of my live streams will still be on Twitch. Do I like Digimon? Digimon's all right. I did not really watch a whole lot of it growing up. I was more of a Pokemon kid, but I do like Digimon. Nines is more of a Digimon kid than I was. So, yeah, I did cry at like the 2 minutes of the Digimon movie that I saw, though. Did I read growing up? Yes. What are some of your childhood favorites? Oh my gosh. Also came from YouTube. Congrats on the big news. Cashmere. Thank you so much, Cashmere. Yes, I read a lot growing up. We already went over that Tamara Pierce was probably my favorite childhood author. I also read a lot of Harry Potter growing up. Harry Potter kind of was my personality for a very long time, but I have laid my love of Harry Potter to rest because I hate J.K. Rowling and the fact that she's a bigot. And so I choose to not support her or her works anymore. Wow, oh my God. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. Thank you for the bits. I also read K.A. Applegate as a kid. She wrote the Everworld books and the Animorphs books. She's a very cool writer. Yeah, but Tamara Pierce is my favorite childhood author. Have I seen the movie But I'm a Cheerleader? You recommended this campy LGBT movie. Yes, absolutely saw But I'm a Cheerleader when I was in like high school. Excellent movie. Love it. Are we pages that put books back in the library, or are we pages from a book, or are we both? You're both. The actual design for the pages, I was talking about this earlier. I was talking about this in the comments, actually. But I do have a picture that Lazuli Rain drew. Waz! If I downloaded it, I don't know where I put it. But basically, the design for the pages are little bookmark guys. Like, if y'all have ever seen Alice in Wonderland, you know what? I downloaded it on my phone, which doesn't help me. I was saying that you drew the original design for the pages that I am still working on. I'd eventually like to turn it into a little thing that y'all can like a template that you guys can customize. I don't know where I saved it. I'm trying to pull it up. If y'all have ever seen Disney's version of Alice in Wonderland, and the deck of cards, the suit of cards that serve the Queen of Hearts, and they're like the cards, and they have their little spears and stuff, right? That was kind of the idea that I had for the pages, but they look like little bookmarks. And basically, y'all can design your own so that you can really customize your little page. I'm having trouble finding where Laz sent it in our DMs, but I know I was looking at it and I downloaded it on my phone. So if I oh wait, no, here we go. Here we go. I got it. I got it. Save image. Put it there. Save image. Put it there. Okay, I got it. So these little guys, little happy little bookmark charm guys. This is generally sort of the idea that we're working with for the pages. So you are like little book pages, bookmarks, but like also the little like based on the little cards from like Alice in Wonderland. That's kind of the concept. So I think, and then you line them all up and they're very cute and I love it. Yeah, so you're my little library helpers. You help me keep things organized in the library. And also you're just adorable. Adorable little pages, little bookmarks. Have I ever written my own book? No. I'm more of a bullet points kind of person. The only story that I've ever really written has been like different backstories for not NPCs, for OCs, and the writing for the lore video that I did. How do I feel about live action How to Train Your Dragons movie? We don't need it. No one asked for that. I wouldn't even call it live action because there's so much CGI in it. Like, it doesn't count. I get that it does count, but like, I really hate the trend of taking all of the like, these peak, animated films and turning them into live actions. Just be creative and write your own damn story. You've got a deal, Laz. You've got a deal. Have I played horror games? Yup, against my will, usually. Of all the books you've read, what's the most comprehensive magic system out of them all, in your opinion? I really like the magic system of Tamara Pierce's books. It's especially her Circle of Magic series. I find it very interesting. Also, I feel like this is a cop-out, but anything based on any of the D&D based books, because D&D has a very good magic system. It feels like a cop-out to say that though, but I've been saying Tamara Pierce for so many things that like I feel like I'm starting to sound like a broken record and just a fangirl. Favorite video game of all time? I think I said that already. It was Ocarina of Time. If I have a favorite animal, if so, which one? Probably cats. Favorite character from, favorite anime. I have a favorite anime. If so, which one? What's my favorite character from the anime? I keep coming back to New Game a lot. And And from New Game, I really like all of them. I like the director from New Game, the company director from New Game. I forget what her name is, but I think she's very funny. How active is Nugget generally? Pretty active. He's been pretty quiet for now, but a lot of the time when I'm streaming, you'll hear me just go, I'm getting kicked. Or, Nugget is tap dancing on my guts. So, yeah. Pretty active, I would say. Pretty active. Am I mentally well today? Yes. Yes, I am. I think I'm mentally pretty good today. Plans for after world domination. I do not plan on dominating the world. That sounds like a lot of work. And honestly, I'm too tired for all that. Have a nice time. That's the plan. What was my initial reaction to the pregnancy video blowing up on your channel so much? Also, you recommend Slime Rancher as a game. Yep. I have absolutely looked at Slime Rancher before. I think it's in our shared library. I'm not 100% sure. But I will look into it. Also, in the Discord, there is a suggestions section, so you can always link games that you want me to play there, and I will eventually work through it. Initial reaction was, no. Wait. Just generally feeling very overwhelmed and very, like, in denial that it was all happening. When was I tested for ADHD? I was tested twice. The first time I was 10 years old and they diagnosed me then and put me on medications. I was on primarily Adderall from the time I was 10 till I was 18. And I finally got a choice in whether or not I was medicated, and I decided to quit the medications because I had a lot of side effects. Primarily, the insomnia was really, really bad. And also, I couldn't eat. So I was like 90 pounds, 80 to 90 pounds most of the time. And I was scary looking. I was so skinny. And I had a really rough time. So I went off the medications when I turned 18. And then I got re-diagnosed as an adult when I was like 30-ish, I think, because I was driving and I was at a stoplight. I was at a red light and I forgot that I was at a red light and not a stop sign and rolled into an intersection and caused a really big accident. Fortunately, no one was hurt. But it was very dramatic. I literally rolled into the intersection and I clipped a guy who came through kind of fast, and then he fishtailed his car, like fishtailed 180, made a big half of a circle. And so I clipped him on the driver's side, right? And then he spun around completely, and then the passenger side of his car slammed into the driver's side of a fire department SUV and smashed out all the windows in both of their cars. So everyone was okay though. Nobody was hurt. No one had to go to the hospital. Everyone was fine. It was just very dramatic. And yeah, I was like, okay, the ADHD's gotten really bad. I should go get re-diagnosed and maybe consider medication again. And I did, and they were like, oh yeah, you have ADHD big time. It is big time ADHD. One of the things that they said at the debriefing appointment after all the testing was done The shrink said, first thing I want to say is I want to thank you because, you know, one of the things that we test for is whether or not people are faking, you know, and how hard they're trying. And it's very clear from your performance on these tests that you are so smart and that you were really doing your absolute best. And it just makes it all the much more clear how severely ADHD is impacting you. And I just started like crying, like, because I felt so seen. And like, I knew that I had ADHD, but I hadn't been like to a doctor for it in over a decade. And I'd just been like struggling so much with it. And so, yeah, so I was tested for ADHD when I was 10 and then again when I was 30. And I understood the testing more as an adult. What's the best way to deal with baby fever? Babysit for someone you know. Take care of somebody else's kids for an extended period of time. Hello, Miss Kitty Mama. Hope your day's been going well. You've been healthy. I have been. What genre of books do you consider your favorite? And do you have any recommendations? Yep. Okay. We did that one already. Fantasy books. Read Tamara Pierce. She's great. Read the Circle of Magic books. Thoughts on concrete floors? Fine. Not my favorite. I prefer wood over concrete. But like, you know, they are not bad to clean and they don't catch fire, which in California is great. Will you do a play on Hollow Knight? Would love to see you play this game. Probably. I do think we own that game. I think we own it. I just haven't played it yet. Do I feel like I've really made it in life with all the wonderful stuff going on for me? That's a tough question. So like on the one hand, yes, there's been a lot of very good things happening. On the other hand, life's been very hard this year as well. You know, with losing my cat, car broke down multiple times. There's other like stressful stuff going on outside of streaming. I would say yes. I feel like in a lot of ways that I've made it. But also I still feel very much in the middle of my journey. If that makes sense. Have I ever watched any indie cartoons such as The Amazing Digital Circus, Hazbin Hotel, or Murder Drones? I have not seen any of those. I would say the closest thing to an indie cartoon that I've seen is like Steven Universe, and I don't even think that really counts as indie anymore. It is hard for me to get invested in a lot of shows these days just because I don't have like the emotional capacity. Oh, Bee and Puppycat was great. Bee and Puppycat was really good. A lot of the thing about a lot of those indie cartoons is I know for a fact that they're really, really good, but I don't have the emotional capacity to get into those stories because they're usually they're much more deep. They have a really big message that they want to say. And I know that I need to be in the right place and the right mindset to be able to absorb that. And I haven't been in that like mental headspace for a really long time. So I've mostly just been watching a lot of slice of life stuff from anime that helps me to feel more at center with myself and more like a little bit of a momentary escapism from things. How has being a VTuber and streamer affected your life for better or worse? I think being a VTuber has been an improvement overall on my streaming life. And I think that streaming has affected my life primarily for the better. So gains on gains. It's mostly for the better. It has introduced me to so many wonderful friends and people, and it has helped me to play so many more games that I would have felt like I was wasting my time if I was gaming by myself and not streaming it. I feel like I'm being both social and productive when I stream playing the games that I want to play. And so I think, you know, there have been some shitty moments, but primarily it's all been for better. Why did she leave you? I think deep down you know the answer to this. And ultimately it doesn't matter why she left. What matters is that you continue to better yourself and to grow and develop as a person, despite those trials. Do I agree that the past tense of mac and cheese is mac and chose? No, I would say it is mac and cheesed. I love mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is delicious. Hey, Kitty. Hello. First stream you've caught. Welcome on in. Your wife is 3 months pregnant. Congratulations. And currently you will be moving back home in 3 months. You're separating from active service. Congratulations. And the stress is getting to her. Do I have any advice for helping her manage and relieve stress? That's really hard. That's really, really hard. Have a good support system. Reach out to the people around you. Try to both rest as much as possible, eat what makes you happy, and, you know, talk to people who care about you. And just know that pregnancy is weird. Pregnancy is really, really weird. And, you know, you are not the first person to ever be pregnant, nor will you be the last. But also, like, your pregnancy is going to be different from every other pregnancy because it is yours. And so try not to stress too much about doing things right or wrong. Just listen to your body, listen to what's good for you, and, you know, focus on yourself. This is your time to be selfish and really focus on yourself more than anything else. Because your body's creating a person. Let's see. What is truly better? A man who avoids the storm and delays his journey, or a man who's fully prepared to face it? Let it be. For what? For thou hast seen the depth of the pit, thou art indeed extraordinary. That doesn't sound like a question, to be honest. Because I could argue that a man who avoids the storm and delays his journey is someone who is fully prepared and is simply choosing his battles. So I think, you know, there's wisdom in choosing to not face a storm that you don't have to. But also being prepared to face one if you get stuck. Like, I don't know. There's wisdom in both. It does sound like a poem. I already answered about the concrete floor. Someone just said hello. Am I gonna play Hollow Knight or no? I already answered that question. Happily. What's my third favorite dinosaur? Stegosaurus. Have I played Nintendo games before? Yeah. Yeah, I have. Especially given that Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite game series. Yeah, I should hope so. If a pregnant lady goes for a swim, is the baby technically in a submarine? Yes. If a pregnant lady fought another pregnant lady, are the babies piloting mechs? The babies are piloting mechs regardless of whether or not their mothers are fighting anyone. Refreshing. Do I have a cat? No, but I used to, and I'm sad about it. Are you really pregnant? Just checking. Yes. Yes, I am. Is it weird that as a male, it is upsetting that you don't get to experience pregnancy, even knowing it can be a nightmare? I don't think it's weird. I think it's just a different kind of FOMO. Fear of missing out. I don't think it's weird. No. Do I put cereal before the milk or milk before the cereal? Definitely cereal before the milk. Who's my favorite internet kid? I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that question. All right. Just to bounce it to make sure the questions went through. Okay. How exactly big is the library? Is it small and cozy or massive with walls of books and balconies? It is, yes. It's ever changing. There are parts of it that are huge. There are parts of it that are cozy, and where different doors lead changes all the time. It's very complicated. It's a magic library. It's an infinite space, and the library will help or hinder you in getting to where you want to go based on whether you are welcome there or not. How many different types of books are in the library? All of them. All of them. Example, spell books, storybooks, nonfiction, instructional books, poem books, something that is in a book. Yeah, all of those. Yes, it's all in there. Do us pages have something written on us from past memory or something about us, or are we just a blank page of paper? That is for you to decide. You get to decide that entirely on your own. The template is blank. What's written on your page is entirely up to you. Do those pages come out of books that have any links about us or just appear out of thin air? I assume that each of the pages comes from a book. And you mark the page that you've experienced so far. The books of people's stories are also constantly writing themselves and expanding and all these things. So, yeah. So back to the question. If I were to create a video game, what genre would I make it and what would the plot be? I think I would make a cozy fantasy themed game where I think I would make it sort of like a game where you have to get to know different people and you like run a library and you go around and like collect books from around the world. And you also acquire books and stories from people that come to visit you. And you have to like learn about the people visiting your library in order to get their stories and collect their books. I think something like that would be really cool. Okay. Do any of the books have just gibberish? No. Oh, I have to verify again. We already answered how I became a VTuber. Do I like the wings bone in or boneless? Bone in. Your Twitter is 18 plus, but my Twitter is not 18 plus. Nowhere on my Twitter does it say 18 plus. My streams include like profanity and sometimes like spicy jokes. But it is not an 18 plus environment per se. That could change. We'll see how it goes. Just want to say thank you for hosting such a nice and relaxing atmosphere, and you sincerely hope that everything goes well with the pregnancy, and you wish me very well. Sorry for no question. No, I appreciate it. That's perfect. And on that note, we're done. We got through all of the questions. gosh, it's been almost 4 hours. Have I thought about writing my own book in real life? I do not wish to, no. If I wrote my own book, I'd probably hire a ghostwriter to help me out with it. And I'd tell them the story that I want to tell, and I'd be like, help me. Thank you. Like, okay. It's okay, Cynical Audie. The VOD will be posted on YouTube and will also be on Twitch for like a while. Did I see your question where you called me old? Probably. It's all a blur now. How do you start about VTubing? Start streaming. Talk to an artist about getting a PNG made. Or use something free that you get from that one thing. My brain is gone. My brain is so dead. All right. Hi, Jumpers! My brain is so doomed. You're new here, how am I? I'm doing well, thank you. I'm doing very well, I think. My brain is noodles. Noodle brain. I'm boo. I think I'm cooked. I think I've done enough for today. Can we do raids? Are raids a thing on YouTube? I don't know, but I'm gonna go through the super chats real quick. Thank you, Abraham and Ear Trumpet, for your super chats. Thank you also, Ear Trumpet and Noel for becoming pages. Jonathan, you remember me saying that I played cozy indie games, so here's your obligatory recommendation of Balatro. Wonderful. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I do own Balatro. I have played a little bit of it, just not on stream. But maybe that'll change.
Cynical_OD gifted a tier 1 sub to Scarlet Black Flame.
Thank you for gifting that sub. I appreciate it. Hold on. Thank you, Ed, for the super chat. And thank you, Ryuga, for the super chat. I appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, the more members we get, the more emotes we can have. That's my only pitch for become members. There will probably also be some members only streams here and there. But other than that, I cannot say what will be on YouTube too much because I'm still figuring that out. But if you want YouTube to have more emotes, I've got a bunch on Twitch already. So either follow me on Twitch and subscribe over there, or help me build up the YouTube membership. Have I watched Shanghai Law Frontier? No, I haven't. You asked if I played Nintendo games before. Yes. Yes. Yes, I have. A lot. All right. So, rating for YouTube is called Live Redirect. Ah! Thank you so much for the bits. Audie, I appreciate you. Oh god, this is gonna go on for a while. Hold on, let me... Ah! Yep. Will I stream on YouTube again? Yes. Yes, I will. I do. Help! Let me up! Let me up! Okay, I live down here now. Oh my god. Why is it still happening? Okay. I'm alive. All right. So, I don't know how to do the live redirect thing. I know who I would like to redirect to. I think. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. I don't think my friends who stream. Oh wait. There's a couple people who I follow who are live on YouTube. I just don't know how to redirect. I'll figure that out next time. I think we're just generally gonna end here. Real quick, I already thanked the YouTube super chats. So let me just scroll through here real quick. Audie, thank you so much for the 1,000 bits, you absolute champion. Also, thank you for gifting a sub. 2 subs. Bounty Hunter Bork, thank you so much for subscribing with your Twitch Prime. Hollow, my son, I didn't even see your raid. Welcome in, my boy. I love you. Welcome on in. Hunter, thank you so much for the 45 bits earlier. Bandit, thank you so much for resubbing. My brain is so melty. Mucket, thank you so much for subscribing on YouTube. Oh my goodness. Thank
Cynical
you for gifting another
_
sub.
gifted a tier 1 sub to Fabulous Megadeth.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Also, Leo and Nines, thank you both for resubbing, and also Dr. Varaz. And Vancouver's Boy, thank you so much for subscribing as well. And I think that's everyone. And on that note, I don't think we're gonna raid because I don't know how to do it on. I will drink the water. I've been drinking. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. So all that being said, also, this is where the timer's at now. We're $27 away from restarting the community Minecraft server. And y'all have added a bunch more time onto the timer. I'm gonna drink the water. It will be a modded server. Been going for 3 hours. Makes sense. It's been 3 hours and 55 minutes. Whoa! Thank you so much for the 25 gifted subs. Holy crap! Thank you so much. If you got a sub today, say thank you. Say thank you right now. My goodness. Okay. You'll do more. Oh my goodness. I need to have a lie down. I need to have some dinner. Number 1. They really did. It really did. Thank you so much, Audie. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna end stream as soon as the, oh my god, my brain. I finished those questions and I was like, I'm done. As soon as the hype train ends, In just a few minutes, we'll end. Oh, new streamer. Yay! New old streamer. Yippee! You rest, girly. I'm going to. All right, later, Vox. Have a good one. Are you not bruised after all those bits? I'm resilient. Oh my god. Ah! Aiden, thank you so much for the gifted subs. I really appreciate it. Yes, Nines! What do you have to remind me of? No, I said that none of that didn't count for this. I'm pausing all of that for this stream.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
I am safe.
Safe.
I am safe.
Safe.
I'm safe.
Hi, I'm hugging you.
Hi, hugging me. I'm your wife.
I'm my wife. I mean, your wife.
Thank you so much, y'all. Y'all are crazy. I appreciate you so much. Y'all are too nice to me. Also, I'm sorry that I'm sitting weird. Nines is hugging me right now. Do I say hi?
Hi.
You're very cute. Did you know? I think you're adorable. Ah. Thank you, dear. All right, we'll see. I'll see if there were any new questions submitted. Doesn't the 18 with a line through it mean 18 plus? I could be wrong though. It doesn't say that on my Twitter though. You're talking about the hashtag. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me clarify something for y'all. So on my Twitter profile, there's an 18 plus art tag. That is my lewd art tag. That is like the art hashtag to separate any lewd art that people make of me from the normal art. That doesn't, my Twitter profile is still not 18 plus. But yeah, that's what that is. That is the lewd art hashtag. That's the sock drawer. That's what that is. So someone was asking about that. They were like, what do you mean? But you have that. I was like, no, I don't. And then I remembered it's for the lewd art hashtag. It is not for anything else. There's very few things under that hashtag. But it is mostly an acknowledgement that people probably, I was just thinking about that, Lisa. It's more an acknowledgement that people will draw lewd things eventually, probably. And so, like, do it over there. Don't do it under the main art hashtag. You didn't see the pregnancy video yet. Let's go! It's a great video, though. Okay, so I will tell the story of the profile picture because it's a good story. So, basically, I love supporting my friends, right? I love supporting my friends, and I will support them in, like, whatever they do. That being said, my friends have done some very weird things to make money, including but not limited to stuff involving feet. Now, the first of my friends to do this was my art mama, Moofy. This is the story behind Feety Mama. This is the story behind my Discord and Twitter and Blue Sky social media. This is the Feety Mama story. So I'm starting from the very beginning. So my art mama has tendinitis in her drawing hand. So even though she, art is a big part of what she does, sometimes it is hard for her to draw and she has to take breaks. It can be very hard on her. And so as a result, one time she jokingly decided to draw with her feet. It was just a joke. And yet we all took it very seriously and supported her in this new financial endeavor. This is an emote that I have that my art mama drew with her foot. This is better than anything than I could draw with my hands. I just want to make that clear. All right. She drew this with her foot. My art mama, Moofy, did. So that being said, yes, just with feet alone. So I paid $100 for this emote because I wanted my friend to make a lot of money. And I said, hey, Moofy, you're working on commissions right now. What would you say if I asked for you, if I told you I'd pay $100 for one of your foot emotes right now? And she said, I literally could not afford to say no. Thank you for the 100 bits, Audie. I appreciate you. And so I was like, this is an amazing financial endeavor. And so I said, she said she literally couldn't afford to say no. And so I said, bet. And me and like 10 other people immediately all slammed down $100. It was hilarious. Great. Again, this is just me supporting my friends. This is how I live, right? I love to support my friends and to get them money. Especially for really funny meme moments like this, right? So years later now, right? My friend Hoshi is having a problem. Her computer blue screened. Now she's also a digital artist, right? And so she cannot afford to not have her computer. So she's doing a live stream and she was, she was running, a dono goal so that she could get a new computer. And I jokingly brought up in her chat, right? Like, hey, you should consider doing what Moofy did and draw with your feet. People pay tons of money for that. And it's so funny. And she was like, haha, that's very funny. How would I even do that? And so I sent her a picture of my foot wearing a sock, holding a pencil to demonstrate how Moofy had shown me how she holds the stylus with her foot. And so I sent that to Hoshi, and Hoshi goes, oh my God, chat, that's so crazy. Like, I've got Kitty Mama's foot pics in my DMs. Oh my God. And chat went crazy, right? They were like, oh my God, share, show us the picture, show it, share. And of course, Hoshi was like, oh my God, no, you can't do that. You can't have it. This is for me. And so then, but me being the entrepreneur supporter of my friends that I am, I said, now hold on, chat. Whichever one of you donates the highest amount to Hoshi's computer fund, I will send the picture to you. I will DM you the picture that I took of my foot for whoever donates the highest amount to Hoshi right now. And that person donated $400 to my friend's new PC fund. And so I sent them the photo. Now, they did not think that I would actually do it. They thought it was a bit. They thought it was a bit, and I said, no, you're getting your money's worth. They immediately regretted thinking that I was kidding. Because they felt so weird about that. And I was like, you don't have to keep it, but that is yours now. And Hoshi drew this amazing art piece to commemorate the moment that Feedy Mama was born. Hoshi was just shocked and didn't realize what was happening the whole time until there was $400 in her Ko-fi. And then to commemorate that moment, she drew this art piece. And then I commissioned a foot emote from Moofy. That is also now the emote, the picture that is being used as my profile picture on social media, which is also what's it called? Which also the only reason that it's my profile picture on social media is that one of the early subathon goals was chat gets to choose my profile picture. And of course, that's what they chose. Is Hoshi in the back? Yes. Yes, Hoshi's in the back with the blue thing. I didn't mean to ask for backstory, but here we are. It's a great story. It's a really good story. And it is worth sharing. And I'm going to share Hoshi's Twitter. Because it is, she's amazing. I am reading Twitch chat. I'm seeing all the nonsense that's happening over there with Hollow and Champ. It's just scrolling fast. All right. Or was there something? I know. I am reading. I'm reading both chats. I swear to God. You need to be more degen so it's even. Don't encourage YouTube. Don't make YouTube more degen like you. Don't do that. YouTube's gonna be wholesome. YouTube is the wholesome side. Okay? Anyways, the hype train is over. So I can end it here. Thank you guys so much for coming today. If you're on Twitch, don't forget to follow. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like the live, all that stuff. It helps everything. I'm gonna go lie down. We did a great job today. Thank you guys so much for asking so many questions. I will get to the DMs in just a minute. I see all the Discord notifications. I'm gonna get there. I will do the thing. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Thank you for the 100 videos again. All right, I'm gonna go now. Have such a good day. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you so much.